Okay, guys, I am live. Can anybody in the chat hear me? Anybody not hear me? What's up? How you doing, Dragon Rider? Welcome to the show. Stray Hinja Gov, welcome. Joseph Strickland, welcome to the stream. Hey, y'all. How's everybody Saturday going? Yes, we are going to do some Clash and some Saturday night's main event. I'm very excited about it. But before we even jump into all of that, and I'll give it a couple minutes just to make sure everybody has a chance to jump on. Yeah, I want to review New Japan's Dominion 2018. I literally just got done watching it. I think the last match, the main event, I was done watching it like 10 after 8. So I'm still kind of like a little bit on a high from watching the show, to be perfectly honest. That was something. That was something for sure. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I at least watched Dominion before the stream because, you know, and not to the guys that are on the stream every week, you know, my regulars and everything. But, you know, if you do a live stream and you haven't watched the show yet, you run the risk of some asshole jumping on the chat and going, so what'd you think of the main event? And blah, 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 so-and-so did blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And whatever, and give away spoilers. Elijah Lovell, welcome to the stream. How you doing, man? But yeah, I wanted to make sure it's like, God, I can't really do a live stream until I've watched Dominion because I don't want to run the risk of like the chat just being loaded with spoilers. So, yeah, but now that just means I can do my New Japan Dominion review. I'll get started in a minute. I just want to make sure I've got all my ducks in a row here. So for those of you who watched Dominion, what was your match of the night? Just out of curiosity. I wonder if it's going to be one answer or is there going to be more division? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Omega Okada is going to be everybody's pick for match of the night on the show. That might have been the match of the year, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it was Dominion was one of those rare shows where, as a complete show, I wouldn't say it was on par with Wrestle Kingdom. But, I mean, Wrestle Kingdom, it was like every match was incredible. But this show, like, there was nothing bad on it. Like, everything kind of worked. Even the lower tier matches that I wasn't really that interested in, like every match kind of worked and served a good purpose. But hashtag better than SummerSlam. Well, that's been the case with Dominion ever since, at least since I started watching it. The first year I watched Dominion, it was the AJ Okada main event. And every year it's just Dominion's just blown SummerSlam out of the water. We'll see if that's still the case this year. The Golden Elite. Yeah, that's right. The Golden Elite, because the Bucks and Omega celebrated after the show. So we've got Omega, we've got Ibushi, we've got the Bucks, and 3 of them have belts. And it's like, oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting indeed. Can we get like, if we can get like a Golden Elite versus Bullet Club match at some point, I'd be so happy. It'd be great. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I'm a few minutes into the stream already, so I think now is a good time for me to actually run through the actual New Japan Dominion 2018 card and give my overall impressions of it. As I've been saying, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a really good show from top to bottom. comparing it to Wrestle Kingdom, I think Wrestle Kingdom overall had the better matches and was overall like I think in my review of Wrestle Kingdom, I described it as like the wrestling equivalent to binge watching Netflix, because just almost every match was just incredible and just everyone was a hit for one reason or another, except for the IC title match, as I talked about back then. But this show was more straightforward. It was a bunch of like mostly really good solid matches and then a killer main event. So even though it didn't quite have that, well, I guess not high star rating ranking that like Wrestle Kingdom probably got, I thought it was a very well put together, very exciting, very entertaining show, pretty much from top to bottom. And that main event was absolutely incredible. All right. I'm just looking at the chat here. Y2J, 10-time IC champ. Yes, he is. What happens to Bullet Club? Because during Omega's entrance, it showed the Bullet Club logo fading away. It'll be very interesting to see. And like I said, it'll be very interesting how far the Civil War goes. But Naito won't be the same after Jericho lost his mind. I want to see a rematch between those two, actually, to be honest, just to see how Naito's character develops from this. But anyway, getting into the specific matches, we kick things off with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match, Suzuki Gun taking on Roppongi 3K. Very solid match, very basic, pretty much what I expected it to be. Nice solid action. Sorry, my TV's acting out. Nice solid action. Suzuki Gun retain the titles, and it was just good stuff. Just a pretty good, solid opener. Can't ask for anything more than that. Next up was the match that I cared about the least. Taguchi Japan, Juice Robinson, and David Finlay taking on members of Chaos, Jay White, and Yoshihashi. I actually liked this match. It was I liked it way more than I thought I would. And it was just, again, it was a filler match. It was just there to fill time and further the build between Juice Robinson and Jay White. But to that end, I thought it accomplished its goal. And I'm like, okay, it was fine for what it was. You're probably going to get Jay White and Juice Robinson on one of the G1 US shows. Not that I'm overly excited about that, because as you probably know, I'm not the hugest fan of I think Jay White's been a disappointment in the Switchblade gimmick, but who knows? I like Juice Robinson, though, so maybe they can make something work. Who knows? But I thought the tag team match was good. Next up was another tag team match. Suzuki Gun, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on members of Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii, and Toru Yano. Now, this match was, again, set up largely to continue a build between Suzuki and Ishii, which the post-match did really well, as they both tried to beat the crap out of each other. But as for the match itself, I really enjoyed it for the reason that I talked about in the preview. Yano has amazing chemistry with Suzuki. Yano's the goofball, Suzuki's the killer, and you put them together, and they're so different from each other that, you know, Yano doing goofy stuff with Suzuki is actually really funny, and Suzuki beating the shit or like torturing Yano is really funny because of the whole the character clash between the two. And it feels like Yano could get just murdered at any moment. It's, again, I made the comparison to Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Actually, you want to hear another weird comparison? I'm gonna do this. Who here remembers the Ernest movies with Jim Varney? Who remembers those? I'm looking at the screen. Anybody remember the Ernest movies? Because I want to make a point here. Am I the only one that watched the Ernest movies? I'm not that old. Come on, guys. Nobody? Okay. I'm going to assume I'm the only one that watched them then. Okay. So one of the Ernest movies was called Ernest Scared Stupid, and it's one where Ernest goes up against this evil troll that's like several hundred years old, and he's like this big friggin' monster that's kidnapping children and all this other stuff. And the troll is treated like he would in any other monster movie. He's not really played that much for laughs. So when you have him interact with Ernest, like Ernest is this rubber-faced cartoony goofball that it's like, oh my God, Trantor's gonna, that's the troll's name, Trantor's gonna rip his head off. And I thought that chemistry there was funnier than it would have been if they just made the troll a cartoon character. Patrick Furtado, okay, you wrote yes, so I'm assuming you know what the Ernest movies. Yeah, we're too young. Okay, yeah, I'm just old. But yeah, the Ernest movies, Ernest Scared Stupid. It was this is something. Ernest was like a big staple of my childhood, so one of those weird things. But anyway, I thought the match was very entertaining. Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki were great as always. Ishii was great as always, and Yano was Yano and did everything he needed to do. And the finish was awesome with Zack Sabre Jr. countering the low blow by catching his hand with his legs and then turning it into a submission hold for the win. That was awesome and just a very creative finish, and I really like that. So kudos there. I thought that was a really entertaining tag match. Yes, that's the one where the trolls get killed by the milk. Yes, that's that movie, Ernest Scared Stupid. Absolutely. Okay. Then after that, we had the Never Openweight Championship three-way match. Hiroki Goto defending against Tai Chi and Michael Elgin, with Michael Elgin winning the Never Openweight Championship. This was a good match. Good. It was, again, pretty much what I expected it to be, with Goto and Elgin and Tai Chi just knocking the crap out of each other and throwing each other around like crazy. Elgin looks like he's in really good shape. Like, best shape he's ever been in his entire career. And I thought it made for a pretty entertaining, solid mid-card title match. I think the Never Openweight title has lost a lot of steam with all the other belts that are in there when you have a U.S. belt and an IC belt and everything else, and the world belt and everything. It just, that one's kind of been lost in the shuffle, especially since Wrestle Kingdom, but I thought this match was pretty good. They may want to think about unifying some of those belts, though, just to simplify things about, because that's one of my knocks on New Japan. They've got way too many belts. I was surprised Goto didn't take the pin. I imagine they did that so they can set up an Elgin Goto one-on-one match at some point. Okay, and then next up after that was the Young Bucks facing the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Evil and Sonata, with the big boy heavyweight tag team belts on the line, and the Young Bucks getting their big shot. I thought this match was great. A lot of great drama. The Bucks have really learned how to put tag matches together and how to sell like champions, because there were a lot of great moments here where I think it was Nick who had the leg injury and they were setting up for the Indie Driver, and he couldn't do the springboard because his leg was hurt, and Matt still sells the back injury that he's had for like forever now. But it's I thought there was a lot of great drama here, and it was a very exciting match, and the Bucks won the belt, so that was a huge moment. I was like, wow, the Bucks are the IWGP Tag Team Champions now. That feels like a big deal. And the IWGP Tag Team Championships haven't really for a while now, not that the matches are bad or anything like that, it's just they haven't felt as important. And most of the title changes, while some of the match at Wrestle Kingdom was a really good match, but that title change didn't really feel like a huge deal. The Young Bucks winning those belts feels like a big deal. So this, I imagine that's a way to not only like put the Bucks in a different spotlight, but also use them to kind of rub off and make the belt seem even more important. And yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just reading comments here. Yeah, so that was an excellent tag team match, and I really enjoyed it. Next up, we had yet another tag team match. I guess that's one of my knocks on this card. There's a few too many tag matches, but the last three matches kind of made up for it, so it's fine. A six-man tag, we had members of the Bullet Club, Cody, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll, taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Rey Mysterio Jr. Ultimate babyface team here, and this match was pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I mean that in a good way. It was a good, fun match to highlight this great babyface team that they put together, with Tanahashi looking good, Liger getting to hit his spots, Rey Mysterio, who looks like he's in the best shape he's been in since like the mid-90s. I mean, he looks incredible now. It's amazing. And I thought it was a pretty fun match, and I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised that Bullet Club got the win, but pleasantly so, because it would be easy to give the babyfaces the win, especially in a case like this where it's like you've got Rey teaming up with Liger and they're teaming up with Tanahashi, but the Bullet Club are like one of the hot acts, and Cody is like the man at this point. So I was happy that they gave the Bullet Club the win here and let them get some heat. And I thought that whole closing sequence turned out really, really well. So, yeah, I was happy Bullet Club won, and it made for a fun match. So I was happy all the way through. Okay. And then we got our last 3 matches, which are the 3 big singles title matches that closed out the show. Hiromu Takahashi defeated Will Ospreay to become the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. A move that kind of surprised me. I expected Will Ospreay to retain here, so when Takahashi got the pin, I was legitimately shocked. And it was a nice capstone to a match that I thought was very good. Again, it's the type of action you expect out of those two, and just very good stuff all the way through. Will Ospreay is insane in some of the things that he can do. Some of the counters they did were crazy. That one counter for the Oz Cutter was insane. But yeah, I thought this was a very entertaining match, very good cruiserweight style, junior heavyweight style match, and I was happy with the title change. So very good stuff there. Okay. And then right after that, we had the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match with Tetsuya Naito taking on Chris Jericho in a match that I don't even know if we can call it a match because they brawled all over the ringside area for most of it, especially before the match, but it was entertaining and I enjoyed it. I thought it was great for the most part. Very exciting with Naito getting beat down and then having to fight back, and then Jericho having to cheat and use shove the referee and get a low blow in to ensure that he would win his 10th Intercontinental Championship, 2nd Intercontinental title across 2 companies. But I thought the match was very good. My only real problem with it is that Jericho looked a little pudgy. It's like, dude, I don't know if that's age or if that's him not hitting the gym. I'm not sure. Jericho looked a little pudgy, and he botched. He looked like he didn't know how to take Destino. So some of those botches looked a little bad. But other than that, I thought this was very entertaining. And Jericho winning the title was a legitimate, like, oh, God, this feels like a big deal. So we'll see how that turns out. I wonder if they're going to do a rematch in the U.S. or something. But in any case, I thought this was a very good match. Again, a couple of problems with it, but overall I thought it was very good. But the real reason I wanted to do this review is for the main event, no time limit, 2 out of 3 falls, IWGP Heavyweight Championship on the line, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. And, when you look at their previous matches, you go into this one, you're thinking there's no way on earth they can match it. And by God, they did it. It was an incredible, this might have been their best one. I don't know how some of these guys were able to do it, but for over an hour, these two went out there and just absolutely tore it down and just put on an absolute classic that went on for over an hour. I thought the 2 out of 3 falls format added an extra layer of intrigue and drama to it. I thought the work both guys did was incredible. And the last 10 to 15 minutes of that match, I was on the edge of my seat, like not knowing what was going to happen. That whole third fall, my asshole was so tight. I thought I'd never shit again, but it's, man, it was absolutely incredible all the way through. And where does this rank in their quadrilogy? Jesus Christ, I don't know. I don't. Well, it's probably, if it's not their best one, and I'll have to think about it a little bit. If it's not their best one, it's number 2 behind the Dominion match from last year. Which, good Lord, picking a favorite out of that series of matches is almost unfair. But and here's the thing, I'm the type of guy, I don't mark out for 1 hour matches all the time, because I think 1 hour matches can go horribly wrong and can be very boring if they're not done correctly. But good God, these guys they just have that magic, man. They just have that magic chemistry. And every V-trigger, every Rainmaker, every Tombstone, every One-Winged Angel, all of it, they know how to make it all mean something and make it as exciting as possible. When you get to the end of the match, and once again, all the things they did to sell the exhaustion of being in there for over an hour, Omega collapsed. And that might have not even been deliberate. That might have just been a happy accident or a botch that made the match even better, where Omega collapsed while trying to pick Okada up for the One-Winged Angel. That might have not even been planned, but it made the match better because it sold the exhaustion of the hour. And you get to that point where Okada hits the Rainmaker, but he basically collapses before he hits it. And it's like, good God. And you can finally see Okada fading a little bit. And I love that Okada won the first fall the way he did with kind of a sneaky roll-up pin. And it's like, oh God, now Omega has to beat Okada twice in a row. Damn. damn. And it's like it added that extra layer of drama to it because like I don't think Omega's gonna win it. Because it's like he's got to beat Okada twice in a row in this scenario. That's insane. And I'll be damned. Also, I mean, breaking out the Styles Clash was also a great moment. That was, I mean, the entire match was just great. It was an absolutely amazing match all the way through. And I loved just about every second of it. Kenny Omega is probably, when it's all said and done for 2018, he's probably going to get my Superstar of the Year honors. I mean, he's already had, we're halfway through the year, he's already had 3 of my top 4 or 5 favorite matches of the year so far. That would be the Alpha versus Omega with Jericho, the match with Cody at Supercard of Honor, and then this match right here. I mean, Omega is just really developed into something special, and I marked out even more when he actually won. Like, I almost, even after everything that happened, I was still waiting for Okada to kick out at the end there on that last One-Winged Angel. And by God, he got him. He did it. He beat him. And Omega is now the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. That immediately, like, okay, so we got this legendary title reign out of Okada. And Okada, like, for all intents and purposes, Okada's the greatest IWGP World Heavyweight Champion of all time. And now we've got Kenny Omega, the man who beat him twice in a row in one night. It's moving forward. It's like, God, I'm thinking about all the things they could do. It could be him versus Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom. It could be him versus Cody. It could be him versus Naito. It could be him versus Jericho again. Maybe a title for title situation. I know it will be weird seeing Okada without the belt now. Next show he's on, it's going to be super, super strange. He may even win the G1 Climax this year. Who knows? But it's God, I mean, that main event was absolutely incredible. I was super happy that Omega won the belt. So now Kenny Omega is in the position that he deserves to be in. He's the man. He's awesome. It was nice to see him get rewarded by being made the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in an absolute classic of a main event, which capped off Dominion very, very well. So again, Dominion, excellent main event, very solid undercard, some very surprising and gratifying title changes. That was more than a worthwhile pay-per-view, I would say. Especially the main event alone is enough for me to give it an A. Just as like, look, I mean, the match is over an hour long and it's incredible, and you get that title change. I mean, that's worth the entire show right there. The fact that the rest of the undercard is solid and entertaining and has a few other surprises along the way, even better, even fucking better. So, yeah, check out Dominion. You haven't seen it already. I thought it was great. Gets an A for me, and yeah, just an excellent show. I loved it. Loved it. And it sounds like a lot of you guys loved it too, so that's good to know. So before I get into Clash of Champions 14, which is what I'm going to watch first, want to make sure everyone was aware. I posted a near hour-long video last night at around midnight. I don't even think it got fully loaded until like 1 in the morning, but I uploaded a video last night. I don't know if everybody had a chance to see it because it posted so late, but be sure to check it out because I go over a lot of stuff in there. The only part you can really skip is my Dominion preview because Dominion's already happened and I already reviewed it, so what's the point? But yeah, I like Jay White, but he needs some help. Yeah, there's just, I don't know what it is, but something's just not clicking with that. Hashtag better than SummerSlam, hashtag better than Mania. It's certainly better than Mania. And Mania wasn't even that bad this year. It was just kind of like, but this was just way better. Naito versus Okada in the G1 finals. And, oh yeah, we could do, do Naito versus Okada in the finals where Naito finally beats Okada. And then you get Naito versus Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. That would be great. DIY split on my heel turn list. Interesting thing about that. Somebody asked me about that. Did you consider putting that on your top 10 list? The weird thing with me is that I know NXT is technically WWE, but I think of it as its own brand that it didn't even occur to me to put it on the list because I just think of NXT as like its own separate thing, which now I feel like I kind of made a mistake, but it is what it is. I thought both, man. Yeah, I think the problem with Ospreay versus Taka is that Taka versus Ishimori was so much better. I thought both matches were very good. I really liked both. So, I would say we could possibly get Omega versus Ibushi, but that wouldn't make any sense. They'd have to fill in some blanks along the way. Either are we going to get to a point where Omega has to choose between the Bucks and Ibushi, or are they all going to be together? We'll wait and see. Ishimori versus Ospreay, Wrestle Kingdom, that might happen there. Oh, Dave Meltzer, he probably gave the main event like 14 stars or something. I mean, the way he like keeps adding to the star rating system for Okada and Omega, it's become like a joke at this point. You heard some rumors today that I'm going to love. What rumors would those be? Let me pull this up on the network while I'm at it. Okay, who's ready for some Clash of Champions? Does the Bullet Club actually have a leader right now? I feel like it's really unclear. It feels like right now, not really. Cody's kind of the de facto leader, but it's like the situation is just so like nobody really knows where to stand. It's like, do we keep Omega in the group or what? Like, what's the deal there? There's talk of Kevin Nash coming back to lead a new NWO and WWE. Okay. Y2J versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. That would be interesting. Calling it now, Reigns versus Jinder will be better than Omega Okada. Yeah, in some alternate universe, I'm sure. Let me, I'll be right back. Let me see if I can improve the lighting here. Okay, let's see if that helped at all. Not really. Not really. Yeah, I don't like doing these streams at night because the lighting in here is just really poor, and I'm sorry that you guys can't see me that well, but it is what it is. WWE is also releasing a Lana Day shirt, and they're ending Rusev Day. Yeah, I'm sure the fans will stand for that. Do you think Jay White joining Chaos hurt him? No, I think that was like the best thing he did. Because I didn't think the match with Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom got over as well as it should have. So it's just kind of like, I don't think it hurt him at all to put him in Chaos. It's just, I just don't think the character's working. I think him joining Chaos was like the best thing he's done. Because that was like the one thing he did that was like, ooh, that's interesting. I mean, him beating Omega for the U.S. title almost feels like ridiculous at this point. Okay. All righty, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start Clash of the Champions. All right. All right, so if you're going to follow along on the WWE Network, you're going to go into shows, Vault, Clash of Champions, and then 1991, it'll be the January show in 1991. I'll give you all a few minutes to get there. I don't know what it is. Ooh, what did I just do? Oh, I just hit the Netflix button on my controller. We don't want to watch Netflix. Let's get that off. Yeah, but it's just, I don't know what the video packages look cool. The look is cool. It's just the character's just not clicking, and I don't know why that is exactly. I don't know if he doesn't know how to play it. I don't know if they didn't define it real well. I don't know. Hangman is better than Jay White. Yes, he like significantly better. It's almost like it's almost like why the hell is he in this spot? Hangman's coming along very well. Yes, Hangman is doing quite well for himself right now. Lucha Underground is on Netflix. Yes, it is. Lucha Underground is going to come back next week. Be sure to check that out on Wednesday, because I'm sure as hell going to watch it. Okay, everyone that's following along to the network, are you on Clash of Champions 14? I'm going to assume you are, if I don't hear a response. Your silence is confirmation. Oh, by the way, CM Punk's having his fight tonight on the UFC fight card. So if you've got, because I'm not going to be following because I just don't care enough, but I'd like to hear how the fight went. So if the stream's still going by the time the fight happens, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll still be here. How many hours of wrestling is that for you today? Well, Wrestle Kingdom was about 5 hours, and then combined like Clash of Champions and Saturday night's main event is going to be about 3.5. So too much, way too much. I'm actually kind of tired. I hope I still have enough energy to get through the Clash and Saturday night's main event. But I drank plenty of coffee. Punk's opening the show? Okay. All right. Okay, your laptop is loading. There's no such thing as too much wrestling. There is such a thing when it's bad wrestling. Like Monday nights and Tuesday nights and whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that they're bad because I just haven't been watching Raw or SmackDown. Have I? Okay, I mean, guys, honest opinion, have I been missing anything, truthfully? That's a day worth of work dedication, right? Right? I support the wrestling shows that I like, and it doesn't matter if like Clash of Champions and Saturday Night's Main Event are like over 20 years old or so. I do like a variety of wrestling. Yes, I do. I heard I haven't missed much, and it's like, yeah, okay. I hear Ronda Rousey's been terrible. I heard she was on guest commentary, which is like, guys, why are you having her talk? She's awful on the stick. Just stop it. Let her glare at people and look like a badass. That's how she gets over, and that's how it works. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm on Clash of Champions 14 here. Let's read the description. Clash of Champions 14, Dixie Dynamite features Scott Steiner challenging Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is the sole reason I'm excited for the show. I don't really care about the rest of the show. I don't know what's on the rest of the show, but that main event intrigues me. WWE needs to have everyone be able to cut 20-minute promos with their evil boss. Yes, everybody needs to do that. All right, so I'm going to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Didn't Dixie Carter have a show or something like? Didn't she do something that was like Dixie Dynamite or something in TNA? Like I remember like Dixie like naming something after herself. I don't remember what it was exactly.
Tonight, live on PBS. The heavyweight championship of the world will be decided. Scott Steiner, the awesome challenger, will attempt to win the sport's richest prize when he faces the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Plus, superstars Sting and the total package Flex Luger collide with the World Tag Team Champions too. The Clash of Champions. Dixie Dynamite explodes next.
Oh, FT Legend. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me pause real quick. What do you go on? You're going to go to the WWE Network. You're going to go to shows, Vault, and then look for Clash of Champions, and then it's going to be in 1991, the January show. Let's give FT Legend a minute to catch up because I want to make sure that everybody Watching Crawford versus Horn over UFC 225 or whatever the number is, I'm a boxing fan. You know, God, I used to be a big boxing fan, but I haven't watched like a real. I mean, I did watch Mayweather versus McGregor, but I don't count that as like a real boxing fight. That's like that was a circus tent thing. That wasn't really. Impact has been pretty solid as of late. I've been watching Impact off and on. I haven't really been I haven't been too attentive to it, but I might check out Slammiversary. Who knows? What date? It'll be January. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be January 1991. I have to go. Just know you have a new subscriber. Well, thank you, Patrick. It's, great Patricks. We all think alike. We got to stick together. Boxing has been very under the radar lately, sadly. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Maybe it'll make it because UFC's kind of going under. Like, I don't want to say it's going under, but it's not like the hot ticket that it was a few years ago. Steiner versus Flair. Yes, it'll be that one. So, okay. We're going to start over again. All right. I'm getting ready to hit play. We'll count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you hear about the new president of New Japan? They mentioned it during Dominion. I don't really know anything about it other than what Don Callis said on commentary.
Tonight, live on TBS.
This looks familiar. I think I've seen this part already. Scott Steiner. Woo! Frankensteiner, bitch. A New Japan video game. That would be awesome. If they do it right. Don Callis is all in. That was actually one of the, I forgot to mention that. That was one of the funniest parts of the show. When the Young Bucks won the titles, then they went up to the commentary booth and they were like, hey, Don Callis, are you all in? And basically said he was going to be the commentator for the show, which tells me if they have a commentator, it's going to air somewhere. So it's like, come on, guys, you either stream it or give us something because, goddamn, I want to see it. Madison Rayne is all in, too. I want to be all in Madison Rayne. I'm a pig. Yeah, I'd love for boxing to be like the hot ticket again because boxing, I think, is an amazing sport. Amazing sport. Hey, phrasing.
Of our men and women in the armed forces around the world, we ask that you remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, this is weirdly topical. I almost feel like now whenever I hear the national anthem, I feel a little uncomfortable now because it's like, oh God, all the like media shitstorm surrounding it now. It's like, oh God. You're a man, men are pigs. How do I know? I'm a man too. Fair point. Did you enjoy the national anthem at Mania? No, at Mania I get upset because it reminds me that when I was at Mania at 29, they didn't have it. I was like, come on, man, it's part of the ceremony, part of the pageantry. Colin Kaepernick wasn't kneeling at that point. God, maybe he was and they just weren't paying attention to it. I don't know, but no, I'm sitting on my ass because I'm at home and I don't feel like doing anything. Look, if there's one, and I like to keep my channel as apolitical as possible, but if there's anything I hate about my country, it's the national news media. They are a joke. And that's not like, oh, MSNBC is biased towards the left and, oh, Fox News is biased towards the right. No, I hate all of you. Like, if there's any, like, newscaster or anybody involved with any of those national news networks that's watching this, just know right now, I hate all of your stinking guts and you suck. There's a Subway Series game on tonight I don't want to watch since my Mets suck. Well, you and I are in the same boat because my Orioles are terrible. Opinions on Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, we got Dusty Rhodes on commentary. This Clash of Champions is the first clash that was booked when Dusty took over as the booker in 91. I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy like a lot of other people do. I think she's just kind of the, if anybody has a problem with Star Wars, she's just the easy target. I don't really have an opinion of her, though. Patrick for president. Yeah, you don't want me as president. We're pretty bad. The Orioles are pretty bad. I feel like we're terrible. Nice to see Dusty. I love Dusty. Dusty and Jim Ross at the booth together. That's great. The funny thing about the A's, ever since I saw Moneyball, I kind of sort of pull for the A's. It's really weird. Hey, when you get me pissed off enough, I cut promos. My promo on the national news, it's got nothing on the promo I cut on that dead mouse I found. Blue Jays are pretty bad. Okay, we're opening up with Sting and Lex Luger as a tag team. The Stinger and the Luger. They were friends at this point. And then I think it was next year they had the Super Bowl match where Luger turned heel and they did that program. And now it's Doom. Oh, God, 15-game losing streak? That's bad. That's pretty bad. So this is an interesting one. You know, the show's called Clash of Champions. Sting's the world champion at this point. I think Luger's the U.S. champion, and they're facing Doom for the tag titles. So it's like it is a Clash of Champions. 2 years ago, you guys were in the World Series. No, we weren't. When were the Orioles in the World Series? Please, I have no memory of that. Did living in the Baltimore area make you an Orioles fan? No, it was actually, I was just a huge fan of Cal Ripken. And maybe the Baltimore thing had something to do with that, but it was more my fandom of Cal Ripken that made me an Orioles fan. All right, we're starting. I'm surprised this is the opener. Because typically, I mean, if this were Saturday night's main event, I would expect it to be the opener, but it's like, this feels like it would almost be like the second or even the main event. Second to last or the main event, I should say. Yeah, the Mets. Yeah, the Mets were in the World Series. Yeah. They didn't do very well, but hey, you made it to the dance. I'm not going to bash I mean, you know, the Golden Knights and the Cavaliers, I mean, they got destroyed in their 2 series. It's like, fuck, they made it to the dance. I'm not going to knock them. Hip block by Stinger. Back body drop by Sting. Arm drag by Sting. He's the man. Were you a Ken or a Barry guy? I was, as a kid, I was a Ken guy, Ken Griffey Jr. I was more into Ken. Tag to Luger. He is the man called Sting. He does this and he does that. Yeah, some divisions in pro sports, they go through cycles where 1 year they look amazing and then 1 year they look terrible. My favorite one was the year where the Seahawks won their division with a 7-9 record. I'm like, that's disgusting. And my Giants were 10-6 and didn't make the playoffs. It's like, don't think I wasn't a tad bitter about that. Luger just swinging net breakers. Butch Reed down. Got Ron Simmons. Damn! How did you react to Mania 17 when Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan came back? I marked out like a bitch. I'm not going to lie. The man called Sting. He's the man called Sting. No women's tag title created. Good. They don't have enough women to make it work. And they've got too many belts as it is. That's ridiculous. That would be, and that's not a sexism thing. I would be saying the same thing if they were doing cruiserweight tag titles. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cute. Bobby Roode should have started as a heel. So, good. Yeah, okay, maybe naming Lars Sullivan something like an earthquake is a little outdated, but you can do better than Lars Sullivan. That is like the most milquetoast name for a big brute I've ever heard. Like Braun Strowman, that sounds like a big guy. I hear that name, I think big guy.
Near fall situation as Simmons kicks out before 3. He reverses. The Irish whip to the ropes, and he's got Luger out.
Oh, Luger gets dropped on the top rope. Did you watch this week's NXT? I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Going to do I would have watched it today, but I watched Dominion instead, so.
We have a decision rendered. We'll show it to you immediately following this timeout. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa, that was a long commercial break. I agree. We need less championship belts. I think they mean more if there are fewer of them to win. Because if there are fewer to win, you're working harder to compete for one and win one. If everybody gets a belt, then it's like, well, fuck, who cares? It's like it turns into a participation trophy at some point. Power slam by Ron Simmons. 1, 2, no.
He has to reach down, grab all he's got. He's got to get the speed. He's got to be offensive. He's got to come up with something.
Oh, nice! Lex Luger always sucked, by the way. Always. He never did anything good. Never, ever, ever. Luger was always a bag of shit and never did anything good in wrestling. Yeah, that is one of my knocks on New Japan, that they have too many belts. Do you really need 3 sets of tag titles? And do you really need like 14 singles titles? There's talks that AJ and Nakamura will go past Money in the Bank. Fuck them if that's the case. Drop kick! Damn! Butch Reed, I can't recall seeing him do too many drop kicks. Yes, Luger never had one of the best moments in Nitro history where he won the title. Nothing. No, never. Never, never. The Lex Express didn't work, and that's one of my big, like, they made a huge mistake dropping the narcissist gimmick. I thought that he was working great as that, and that was a huge mistake. But I keep getting Lex Luger mixed up with Lex Luthor. Well, both characters are so similar. I mean, it's only natural. Oh my God, if SummerSlam is main evented by Roman and Lesnar, I will just lose my shit. What made Strowman and Lesnar different booking-wise from all the other meatheads who were pushed for a bit and then turned into a joke? They actually win, and that certainly helps. I talked to someone who said he hated the narcissist gimmick. Well, he has no taste, clearly. Oh, big shoulder tackle off the top. Butch Reed, he's got his working boots on tonight. Look at him. There's the tag to Sting. Boom, boom. Dan Spivey is attacking Lex Luger. Woo! Come on, Sting. Double clothesline. Want to hear a funny Vince joke? Sure. Does Luger get extra hate because of what happened with Miss Elizabeth? That might be some of it, but he's always had kind of a bad rap on the internet. And I'm like, come on, Luger had his moments. He didn't suck the whole time he was there. Oh, nice! Referee got knocked out of the ring. Luger's down. We got referees down. Doom is down, and Sting is... Oh, he goes flying. Disqualification. Yeah, that stupid rule where if you throw somebody over the top rope, you get disqualified. I hate that rule. So Sting and Luger win by DQ, but not the belts. Oh, there we go. Sting is so fucking cool. I love Sting. Have you read Batman White Knight? No, I haven't. Is it any good? Because I love me some Batman stories. Oh, there was a bit of a phantom punch there that poor Ron Simmons had to sell, I think. But, okay, that was a good match. Not a fan of the finish, but the match was good. Sting is awesome. I mean, who's enjoying these matches? I mean, it's like Andre and Hogan, they kept doing it because the fans actually liked it, and they were getting something out of it. See, I don't even think that should count as a DQ because Sting was going to fly out of the ring anyway, and it would have been his own fault. I think that's a bad call. Okay. I'll be right back. I want to get some water.
Fans, when we come back, we'll show you the Sexy Wrestler Contest results when the Clash of Champions continues on TBS.
Not another commercial. Vince supposedly changed his Mania main event result because he didn't expect Roman to get booed at Mania. How could you not expect Roman to get booed at Mania?
Welcome back to the Clash of Champions, and I have the results to the WCW Sexy Wrestler Contest.
Sexy Wrestler Contest?
Should have been me, but my favorite wrestler won it. I mean, he looks great in his tights. He's got a great tan. And best of all, he's single. And he really is sexy. And he is our world television...
Yeah, I love me some Batman stories, so I'll be sure to check it out.
And now, let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the WCW World Television Championship.
Supposedly, WWE likes putting bad segments on Raw because they think people will watch bad train wreck segments. Well, they do. Apparently, only in the 90s. Yep. Sexy Wrestler Contest. What did you think of Batman Beyond? I think I've been asked that before. But I really liked it. Yeah, it was good. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. I've heard talks, speaking of MSG having non-WWE events, I've heard talks that the Bucks and Cody are interested in doing an all-in event at MSG, which would be awesome. The Z-Man! Tom Zink beat Arn Anderson for a title. That doesn't sound right. That sounds so wrong. But Tom Zink wasn't bad. I just think he had personality issues, if you've ever seen him in interviews or anything. Did you ever watch the movie A Bug's Life? I did. It was good. And not one of Pixar's best ones, but I enjoy it. Apparently, they're upset that WWE is doing a lot of shows at Barclays. I mean, I don't know why WWE wouldn't want to run more shows out of MSG, but okay. What's funny about Total Bell is that the Cena-Nikki thing is a work. Where would you rank Batman Mask of the Phantasm? Honestly, it's one of my favorite Batman movies. It might be number one. Like, my 3 favorite Batman movies are the Tim Burton 89 film, Mask of the Phantasm, and The Dark Knight. Any one of those could be my favorite one. So I think it's great. And especially it was really great getting to see the animated series on the big screen. And it's awesome. I love it. What about Ants? I saw Ants. I remember liking that. It was a little different. It's funny because it came out around the same time as A Bug's Life. So it almost felt like they were, whichever one came out first was ripping off, or whichever one came out second was ripping off the other, but it's actually a really different movie. Plus it has Sly Stallone in it, so, you know. You've seen the Red Hood movie? Yes, I have. It's also very good. Actually, it's funny. The Red Hood movie, I don't think it's as good as Mask of the Phantasm, but the way it does its ending is better, if that makes any sense. The Cena-Nikki storyline drew the lowest number of viewers in Total Bellas / Total Divas history. That's funny. It's almost like nobody cares about Cena and Nikki. Oh, nice arm drag by Tom Zink. The Z-Man. Well, some wrestling fans were just going on and on about the breakup, and I'm like, guys, why do you care? Like, they're adults. And now that it looks like it's going to be a work, the whole thing was a work anyway. It's like, fuck, who? Fuck. Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 33, dude. Do you like Pearl Jam? Is that an insult? I feel like that's like, I don't know. Have you ever seen 22 Jump Street and she's making fun of Jonah Hill for being old? She's like, tell us about the war. Any of them. And like jokes like that. That was asking me if I like Pearl Jam. That almost feels like it's like, oh, look at you, you late 80s, early 90s kid, you. But no, seriously, I like Pearl Jam. Have you heard what HBK said about him having one more match? Yes, I did. I hope to God he doesn't do it. Don't do it. Drop kicked, and Bobby Eaton goes flying out of the ring. What about the Bumblebee movie? Bumblebee movie, I saw a trailer for it. I don't really care. Starscream looks like Starscream this time. That's cool. But that's really the only thing I walked away from thinking about it. It looks like any other Transformer movie. Hopefully it's not fucking terrible like all the other Transformers movies have been, but, you know. Iron Maiden's awesome. I love Iron Maiden. Actually, I should be nice. Like, okay, the Transformers movies, I liked the first one. The first Michael Bay one. I was okay with it. Then the next two were funny bad. And then after that, once you get into Age of Extinction, it's like, okay, guys, I don't care anymore. Guys, stop it. No, seriously, stop. And now they're doing standalone spin-off films. I'm like, ugh, it just won't die. Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, also very good. I've seen the trailer for the new Halloween movie. I haven't seen the trailer. I'm interested in the approach, though, because apparently it's not a remake. They're ignoring all of the sequels, but keeping the original film in the canon. So it's like it's almost like doing what Godzilla 1985 did and what like the Millennium Godzilla films did, where it's like the original film is canon. We're ignoring everything else, though. So it's like, all right, that could be interesting. I saw Revenge of the Fallen. I have zero memory of it. That's probably for the best. Bumblebee or Hot Shot? I'll be honest. I did not like Transformers Armada that much, so I'm gonna go Bumblebee. I'm a way bigger G1 fan than I am Armada. I've only seen the first Halloween. Should I watch 2 or any of the others? Personally, I like 2. 3 is, here's the thing about 3. 3, they tried to transform the series into an anthology series, so 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers. I think it's a good movie, And if you want to watch it, it's fine, but it's not required viewing if you're a Halloween fan and you want to watch other Halloween movies. And people kind of shat on it at the time because it's like, it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. But I actually think I would have preferred the series if it turned into an anthology series. But yeah, I like 2. I like 3. I like 4. 5 and 6 are terrible. H2O is good. Resurrection is the worst. And then the 2 Rob Zombie remakes, I don't care. Revenge of the Fallen sucked. Yes, it does suck, but it was funny sucking. It was amazing how bad it was, and I kind of laughed at it. Did you like Jumanji? I haven't seen it, the new one. I'll be honest, when I heard they were doing a Jumanji reboot, I rolled my eyes, and then I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, this is actually different and kind of cool. I should probably check this out. I still haven't seen it, though. Yeah, the Rob Zombie movies suck. Actually, oh, knee drop by Bobby Eaton. This is actually not a bad match either. This show is already better than last week's Clash of the Champions. Roll up by Zinc. Okay. Oh, swinging net breaker. The original Jumanji gave me nightmares. It's a pretty intense movie if you're a kid. Your thoughts on the upcoming Venom film? Honestly, I think it looks bad. And it's a shame because I love Tom Hardy. I love him, but it doesn't look good. It just... Now, I'll tell you what does look good. I think the animated Spider-Man movie, I saw the trailer for that. I'm like, that actually looks like it could be okay. No, we never need the dynamic. Oh, Zinc got the win on a backslide. Do you think WWE will run a special show on September 1st? I wouldn't put it past them. The only Rob Zombie movie I liked is House of a Thousand Corpses. Actually, I like The Devil's Rejects. I've never seen House of a Thousand Corpses, but my friends and I have a joke with The Devil's Rejects. It's like, hey, remember that time Rob Zombie accidentally made a good movie? Are there any movie remakes you like better than the originals? John Carpenter's The Thing. Definitely that one. This is going to be controversial. I like the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead more than the original. I love the original, but I like the remake more. And I know it sounds like sacrilege now, especially since Zack Snyder's attached to it, but I really like that one. Other than that...
Later on this evening, the York Foundation has a very...
There's Alexandra York. That's Terry Runnels, for those of you who don't know.
Our latest member. This is an acquisition of which I am very pleased. I have made a good selection.
I really like the big glasses on her. She's got this sexy librarian look. It looks great. But yeah, those are my big 2, I think. John Carpenter's The Thing and Dawn of the Dead. What are some good mystery movies? I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. So I love the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes. I love, so, I mean, if you want good mysteries, just watch Sherlock Holmes. That's the cat. No, that's Stacey Carter. Stacey Carter, Jerry Lawler's ex-wife. She's the cat. Tommy Rich and Alan Iron Eagle. That's a surprisingly awesome name. What did you think of Fuji Vice? I don't even know what that is. What's Fuji Vice? Oh, you want a good mystery movie? Watch Sleepaway Camp. It feels like a Friday the 13th like knockoff, and it is, but the ending legitimately shocked me. Favorite Nitro Girl? I mean, Kim Page. I always had a thing for Kimberly Page. I will never object to hearing the Bad Street USA theme, ever. Never, ever. I love that song so much. It is, yeah, Sleepaway Camp. It is it's basically a ripoff of Friday the 13th, but and it's not a good movie, but the ending legitimately shocked me, so I'll give it credit. Isn't HBK's wife a former Nitro girl? Yes, Whisper. She's pretty hot too. She was one of the hotter Nitro girls. Who's the one? There was one that was like kind of a Jersey girl, and I thought she was hot. I think it was Fire. What time is the Punk match? Well, if he's opening, I believe the main card starts at 10 Eastern, so I would probably check at 10. Power Slam. Nope. I love listening to Dusty on commentary. Do you find Carmella hot? Yes, I do. I do find Carmella hot. She's hot as hell. You can't teach that. Silence of the Lambs or Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh God, don't make me pick. Oh God, because I feel like I'm picking between I'm picking between Hannibal Lecter and Freddy Krueger. They're like two of my favorites. So I would, if you twisted my arm, I would say Silence of the Lambs is the better movie. But Nightmare on Elm Street is the one I typically watch around Halloween time more. So what time would be 10 in the UK? I have no idea. I don't know what the time difference is there. What did you think of Dusty joining the NWO? That was stupid. Like, you want to talk about somebody that did not fit in the NWO, Dusty Rhodes. Hmm. 3 a.m.? Is that the time difference? Shit. You're up late, FT, if that's the case. And he can be had tonight right here live in the club across the world. The Freebirds have signed to be on that phenomenal card in the Omni in Atlanta. Have you watched Mindhunter on Netflix? I haven't. What is that? I've never heard of that. What is it? Mickie James, the hottest female in the current roster. I've had a crush on Mickie James for well over a decade and a half at this point. She is my jam. It's 2:33 in the morning here in Scotland. What the fuck are you doing watching me, dude? Go to bed. You must be tired. You just woke up. Okay. What went wrong? Chris Masters. Lots of things went wrong there. Currently 6:30 p.m. in California. I got a worldwide audience tonight. Ain't that cool? In public, if you will. In public. Oh, God. I get to hear Dusty and JR together. It's like, ooh, that looked like a stiff shot. Oh, nice chop. Chris Masters had no charisma. The Masterpiece thing was working for a short while at least, but it's just they just never turned the corner with him. It's about FBI agents interviewing serial killers. Is it real or is it scripted? Okay, actors playing. Okay, because I'm like, if that's actually like real FBI agents talking to real serial killers, that'd be awesome. I'd watch the fuck out of that. Carlito was another one they fucked up. And Carlito had way more potential than Masters. Like, I thought they really were onto something there with Carlito, and they did not pull the trigger at all. He's a baby. Yeah, that was stupid, Garvin. I spit in the face of people that don't want to be cool. That looks sloppy. What the hell?
Right here, fresh. He needs to take it to him. Jimmy Jam Garvin. Sitting Iron Eagle for the rod while Tommy Rich does a number on Michael Hayes.
Okay, referee, you need to get some control over this.
The referee a little lost here. He's got to restore some order. Hayes elbowed outside. Iron Eagle.
The worst sunset flip I've ever seen in my life.
He's got him pinned. Hayes caught him.
Good job, Tommy Rich.
The young kid from
Just cost your team.
We're talking about a rookie referee here. He needs to turn around and see what's happening. But what's going on right here that looks like it is. He's got a block on him. I like it. Iron Eagle
Suplex by Iron Eagle.
executed one of his own. Now can he tag Tommy Rich? Yes, he does. He made the
Who is the most recognizable voice in wrestling, Dusty Hogan or Macho? I would give that to Macho. Like, no human being sounds like that. And it wasn't put on. Double DDT. Because Tommy Rich is an idiot and distracts the referee while...
Did not see the tag. That was a rookie mistake.
1, 2, 3.
Turned out the lights of the TV. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners.
What went wrong? McMahon's $1 Million Mania. The thing there was just like, oh my God, are they bribing us to watch the show? Shit. Stab into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
I thought this might be it because they had the kid wore down. Iron Eagle, the rookie, a great rookie, a great future in front of him. Wore down. I thought this was it. Michael Hayes turned the attention away from him, gave him a little.
And because the Freebirds won, we get to hear Bad Street USA again.
This will give you a headache in the morning, in the night, or whenever you want to walk around with it. And this thing is over for the rookie, Iron Eagle, Freebird on top. Once again,
More recognizable voice, Vince or Macho. I would give it that to Macho. Oh, I tried to enter and win money too. It's like, well, fuck. I mean, if they're going to offer the money, I might as well try and win it. Wrestle War 91. Yeah, headlined by that that War Games match that was very, very good. If you saw my top 10 War Games matches video, the Wrestle War one was on there. So yeah, I really like the two Wrestle War ones, the 91 one and especially the 92 one. I thought were just excellent matches. What did you think of the Ric Flair segment the night after WrestleMania 24? It was emotional and it was fine. It was just saying goodbye to Ric Flair. That's pretty much all it was. Now we got Tony Schiavone and Paulie Dangerously together. There's two people I never expected to see at a booth together.
All right, as he likes to be called, the intergender arm wrestling champion of the world. Hey, let me ask you something, Paul.
When does the Dangerous Alliance form? I think later in 91. Like, not long after this. One person won and she was in the arena. Yes, I do remember that. When did Paulie join ECW? I want to say 93? 93?
Tonight, are you going to let all these men in the world down and let a woman beat you in an arm wrestling contest?
Oh, does this show have the Missy Hyatt, Paulie Dangerously arm wrestling match? I forgot about this feud.
I have a dream that I'm going to free the wrestling world of Missy Hyatt. Tonight, when I put her arm down, I have a dream that
Did you see WWE reference Kenny Omega? I did not. What did they say? Did they say that Omega is literally better than anything we're doing?
All right, let's go back to the ring. Get in, Missy, go get in,
Missy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, it is set for one fall.
Can you imagine Vince on commentary these days during Roman matches and segments?
From Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, we got a Baltimore guy, a Maryland boy, jumping Joey Maggs.
Joey Maggs.
What's that in Paul's hand, an antique? I don't know what that was, actually.
Jumpin' Joey Maggs has a very tall order ahead of him. It's about 6 feet 9.
Oh, his Twitter feud with Xavier Woods. Oh, okay. The independent wrestling star. Okay, they called him an indie wrestler. Okay. Oh, and we've got Sid Vicious. There's a tag team idea. Jumpin' Joey and Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. They could call the team Full Force. I actually like this entrance for Sid. The turning platform, the dark lights. It actually looks pretty epic. Oh, the phone. Yeah. That's them old school cellular phones. Yep. Again, the funniest thing about the Jumpin' Jeff Farmer promo, the funniest thing about it is that was the best take they got. Because you know they had to film it more than once. They had to. And that was the best take they got. Sid could go to promo once in a while. If he kept it short and to the point and just screamed, he would do okay. But he can never do what like a Ric Flair could do or like a Rock could do or anything like that. Or Jake Roberts. Big clothesline. I got half the brains that you do. That's the greatest self-insult I've ever heard in pro wrestling. It's one of my favorites.
Sid Vicious on a real vendetta in recent weeks. He has hired his own emergency medical.
Have you laughed at Sid breaking? He's like, I didn't laugh at that. I fucking like almost got sick. That looked nasty. Like that was one of the few moments in wrestling that was like I had to turn my head away.
He is a sadistic human being. What a clothesline.
He looked like he had a gun to his head and was being forced to cut that promo. Yeah, I know, right? The Zach Morris brick phone, yeah. That's exactly what it's called, too. Power bomb. 1, 2, 3. Short to the point. Make him look like a monster. Nothing wrong with that.
Vicious, I saw him motion to the locker room area for his EMT people to come out. Joey Maggs is in dire need of medical attention. We'll take another look at it. Look at this streak. Right here with the streak.
Look at the power of Sid.
He is so strong. He is so agile. He is so determined. He is so fast. He is destined for greatness.
It's because I grew up with the living in the DC area. I grew up looking at clips of the Joe Theismann leg break in the NFL. Oh God, now he's throwing poor Joey Maggs off the stretcher. Anyway, I grew up watching that Theismann clip, and I think Sid breaking his leg is like way worse than that. Why me? That was hilarious. Yeah.
And make no mistake about it, baby. Sid Vicious is bad to the bone. Fans, here's how you can participate in the wrestling hotline. Call now.
Yeah, Triple H making fun of somebody for the size of their nose seems hypocritical. Who the fuck is Steve Beverly? Now I will talk to Paulie dangerously. I would love that. How many kids actually called those hotlines? How many kids actually called those hotlines? Because I can't imagine. Gainesville, Georgia. Tell me Jim Ross doesn't look like Andy Richter in this show. No, he looks like Andy Richter. Can you smell it? Can you smell what Sid is cooking?
Everybody's mad when they walk in and get in the ring.
Is AJ Styles in the crowd? Maybe. Who knows?
And the fear is you're gonna be stretchered out, thirsty of the power bomb. Now in 1981, I'll have a goal. And when I reach that goal, there will be no doubt. In 1991, the Sid Vicious rules the world.
See, that was a good promo. I like that. What did you think of DX playing the Nation of Domination in that segment on Raw? I thought it was funny. I enjoyed it, but my problem is, you know, I always hear about how offensive the Four Horsemen parody that the NWO did is. Like, oh, that was disrespectful, and it was wrong, and it was terrible that they did that. And I'm just like, motherfucker, DX did blackface, but that was okay, apparently. Again, history's written by the winners, but it's just so weird that, like, the Four Horsemen bit gets remembered as this really disrespectful thing, and the DX bit gets remembered as, it was really funny. And it's about as un-PC can be. But I thought both were funny, so maybe I'm just an asshole. Not my dog spot, not my liver spot, but my spot. Terry Taylor. I see he lost the rooster doodle, the hair. Ricky Morton.
You can earn a lot of respect right here with a victory over Ricky Morton. Sure can, because Ricky Morton has had that in the World Tag Team title, the right one express many times, and I know that Terry Taylor went out and told people, I want respect, I need somebody to notice me, and I know that he is looking for a tremendous victory tonight, but to get a victory over Ricky Morton, it's going to take more than Terry Taylor's talk to get that thing done, baby.
Difference is, Patrick, people normally remember the train wrecks, unfortunately for Sid. Yeah, it's funnier to remember the bad ones, but, you know, and I'm not saying Sid was great, but he had his moments. When Piper did the blackface, the weirdest thing about that, when Piper did the blackface, like the half blackface, as a kid, for some reason, I thought it was green. I didn't think it was black. I was like, why did he paint himself half green? And I distinctly remember thinking it was green as a kid. I don't know why I did. What are some of the best dirty jokes cartoons got away with? Animaniacs, the fingerprints joke. That one sticks out to me. Animaniacs had a lot of good ones. Tiny Toons had a really good one in the summer vacation special they did. And it's not necessarily the most adult thing in the world, but there was this part in the summer vacation cartoon with Tiny Toons where Buster was being forced to marry these two, like, alligator daughters or something. Like, this dad who's an alligator was forcing Buster to marry his 2 or 3 daughters who are also alligators. And Buster said something like, I can't marry all your daughters. That's bigamy. And then the dad was like, no, son, that's bigamy. And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I like that. Can't marry your daughters? That's bigamy. No, that's bigamy. Puns are funny. But what 5-year-old knows what bigamy is, you know?
Very, very quick to get the advantage in that
All right.
department. Taylor rolls him over the shoulders, got 2 out of it. Again, Taylor rolling Morton over. Got a 2 count there. I'll tell you what, Ricky Morton's in control right now with that headlock, applying a little pressure, trying to weigh him down. Terry Taylor needs to get off his back, boy. I can remember right here.
There was a joke in a Batman animated series about giving a girl a ride. There was an episode, it was one of the later ones when they did the new Batman adventures, where Batman goes up against Roxy Rocket, I think her name was. She is straight up having an orgasm while she's riding the rocket. I'm not making this up. She is straight up having a fucking orgasm right there. And I'm like, this aired on Saturday mornings for kids. And she is like, she's having an orgasm while riding a rocket between her legs. It's like, I don't know how they got away with that. There's Rick and Morton. Crossbody by Morton. Nope. Rock and Roll Express, they were one of the best tag teams of their era. You know what's amazing? You look at the 80s, and you look at all the great teams that WWE had at the time, the Hearts, the Bulldogs, Demolition, Strike Force, the Dream Team, so many other teams. The Rockers showed up. So many great teams that they had during that time period. And there were a ton of teams they didn't have. Like the Rock and Roll Express, like the Midnight Express, like the Horsemen, like the Fantastics. They didn't get the Sheep Herders until they brought them over and turned them into the Bushwhackers. That's really amazing to me. It really tells you how great tag team wrestling was back in the 80s.
A little more aggressive. Terry Taylor wants to impress the championship committee in WCW.
Want to rev up your Holly? I remember that one. Yep. Rock and Roll Express versus the Young Bucks. Man, that would have been interesting. Are you surprised at how far Family Guy can go with their jokes in this day and age? They've done some things that surprise me because, again, we live in such a it's weird. When Family Guy first showed up, that was kind of the course of action, was to be as raunchy and as risque as possible. But now we're kind of regressing, and it's like people are being encouraged to kind of scale back. Oh, there's Alexandra York. There she is. But anyway, so Family Guy doing shocking, raunchy stuff back in the day was funny, but it wasn't like that shocking because we'd already lived through Jerry Springer and Jackass and various other things. And nowadays, it's like, I can't believe they say some of the things that they do because I'm surprised they haven't been ripped off the air. I really am. I'm not advocating that they should be. I'm just amazed that, nobody's really pushed for it. South Park said shit on TV, which seems so tame when you look.
Foundation to make that very special announcement. The wrestler you see in the ring this very moment, Terry Taylor, is our newest member. I've written a program especially for him. He will execute it flawlessly. And as always, the computer is infallible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when you look at some of the other things that South Park has done, like saying shit is nothing. Like the most, South Park did, I'm not making this up, they had a detective pose as a prostitute, actually fuck clients, and then proceeded to shit jizz into an evidence bag to use as evidence. That is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in anything ever. Inside Cradle, no. And it's like, dude, how did they get away with that? Is that Terry Runnels? Yes, it is. Alexandra York is Terry Runnels, and it's like, God, she's got this cute little bun in her hair and the big glasses. It's like, I'm waiting for her to just do like a big striptease routine. If this were the Attitude Era, she'd have done it by now. Some parents don't want to be parents. That's why they try to PC everything. That's a big part of it. Like, yeah, like it's like they feel like, and some people feel like they want to asshole-proof the world, and in doing so, they come off like assholes, which bothers me. I remember Drake and Josh made a lesbian joke and a race joke. You'd never see that on Nick shows these days. I don't remember Drake and Josh. That was after my time. I was a Keenan and Kel guy. We get the Terry Invitational Tournament. I remember that because Russo loves puns. PC Principal. PC Principal is one of the best characters South Park's ever done. I love PC Principal so much. You PC, bro? You PC, bro? Oh, a nice shot. Body drop. Back body drop.
The newest member of the York Foundation, Terry Taylor, the Irish, whips in for the ride.
Morton getting some shots in. And inverted, no. Ricky Morton countered. Suplex. 1, 2, no. Yeah, Keenan and Kel was the shit. I love that show. I put the screw in the tuna. Drake said, we're not Caucasian, we're white guys. That is hilarious. Terry Taylor just got the win. Okay, that line is hilarious, and anybody who would be offended by that is crazy. Where's Mean Mark? Did he get a new job working at a funeral parlor? Yes, we're in 91, so Mean Mark would have been, he'd be Undertaker by this point. That line, though, that's a really funny line. That's like, I can almost imagine Bill Murray delivering a line like that. How would Taker have done in the 80s? Probably not as well because he would have been, I think with Hogan at the height of his popularity and Savage coming up and Warrior coming up, I think he would have gotten lost in the shuffle. Jake Roberts was at his peak. I don't think Taker would have. Taker came in at that right time where all the 80s guys were getting older, and so it was easier for him to transition, and Hogan was looking for somebody to work with. So there was a natural spot for him right away, whereas in the 80s, I think it would have been harder. What did you think of the Undertaker versus Undertaker feud and storyline? I like the idea. I'll tell you what I really liked. The weekly Undertaker updates, like them going around the country and interviewing people and say it's like there were Undertaker sightings throughout the country. It's like it had a very like kind of like crime show or like Unsolved Mysteries type of feel to it. I think bringing in Leslie Nielsen was a mistake because that instantly makes it a joke. And I love Leslie Nielsen. Don't get me wrong. I love him. Airplane for Life. That movie's fantastic. Bill Apter interviewing Sting. But yeah, so I like that part of the feud, but the Leslie Nielsen stuff was a little hokey and the match didn't come off well, so just kind of, it was a nice idea, it just didn't play out as well as it should have.
Yeah, what a mouthful. That was unreal. I guess that's what you call overcoming adversities. In 1990, it was a very big year for me, definitely inspirational.
Yeah, Airplane, I mean, you want a movie that's nothing but jokes. Fucking Airplane, literally, it's nothing but jokes, but it's great. Also, apparently WWE wants Undertaker to wrestle about 6 or 7 times this year. And I want to get fucked by the hottest woman on the planet, but fuck. That's not a good idea at all. Wrestler of the Year, Sting. It's interesting.
I know what it feels like to be there, brother. And Steiner has got a date somewhere down the road with whoever wins that world title tonight right in here. And Sid Bishop got to deal with the Steiner. But next right now, I got a personal note for the people around the world and the people, our men and women in the Persian Gulf, baby. Let me say one thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This was right around the time Desert Storm. Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird time. I remember the Super Bowl had a lot of like talk about the war too.
You and people in this country have one thing to thank God about, that we got some men and women that are over there to get somebody's ass.
Oh, he said ass, guys. He said ass in 1991. It's woof. It's crazy. I mean, what's the appeal? Like, for the Taker fans out there that still enjoy watching him wrestle, can I ask why? Like, what's the appeal anymore? Like, we've seen him do just about everything that there is to do, and I just don't care anymore. What did you think of Fake Razor and Fake Diesel back when you first saw them? I laughed my ass off when Fake Razor went out there. I'm like, they are not fucking doing this. They did not fucking do this. But they did. Holy shit. I've never watched WCW. What years were the best for the product? We got Ranger Ross back on the Clash. I like 1992 because that was when I started watching the Sting Vader stuff was going on, and that was when they started to do some stuff on TV that was good. And then 96, 97 were like the best years of the NWO. And 89, even though technically 89 is before WCW, 89 was a great year. Yeah, 98 was a good year, but you can start to see dents in the armor, and then that's pretty much, yeah, I'd say those are the best years.
I'm an American true and true, just like this guy is, and we are here for one reason. We are free, and why we're free is because
yeah, and Fake Diesel turned out to be a talented guy. Okay, Ranger Ross is taking on a masked man named El Cubano. Let me check to see if that's Jack Victory. I'm curious. It is not. The man under the mask is Fidel Sierra. Christian's one more match thing, but stretched out forever. Yeah.
I just want to say to all the soldiers over in the Middle East and their families, just want you to know that our prayers are with you and that it makes me sleep good at night, that this is an all-volunteer military, and it states in the Ranger Creed that energetically will I meet the enemies in my country, and I shall defeat them on the field of battle, for I am better trained and will fight with all my might. Surrender. It's not a word.
Ranger Ross giving up El Cubano. He's got great potential, the Ranger does.
Taker needs one last run. He needs one more run with the belt, like he's gotten 14 times. I remember when he beat Batista at WrestleMania 23, and that was like, oh, he got his one last run. And fuck. Hey, this is nowhere near as offensive as Ranger Ross versus the Terrorist, which happened back, what was that, Clash of Champions 7? When I saw the Terrorist walk out, I'm like, oh my God, that's in poor taste. Kind of funny, but also in poor taste. Does anybody in modern day wrestling have potential to carry the Undertaker gimmick and be Mark Calloway's successor? They had the guy in Bray Wyatt, but then they booked him into oblivion. Not saying that Bray Wyatt needed to be like specifically the Undertaker, not necessarily the name, but he should have been like the next Undertaker. Lord Draken. Who the fuck is Lord Draken? Oh, is that the villain in the new Ninja Turtle show that John Cena's playing? God, John Cena, he's in Ninja Turtles, he's in Transformers, he's just butt-fucking my childhood. And people have told me, like, it's like, dude, if they do that He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie, he's going to get cast as He-Man. He's going to be He-Man. And I'm like, if they do that, I'll cry. I will literally, my inner 5-year-old will cry. Yep, Ranger Ross versus the Terrorist did happen. It happened. Maybe Aleister Black could be the new Undertaker-esque character. Maybe. He doesn't quite have the... Black. I like Black, but he doesn't quite have the mystique that an Undertaker or Bray Wyatt would. But maybe they'll give him something when he goes to the main roster. Oh, missed the body splash. Ranger Ross. Muhammad Hassan would have gotten destroyed. He would have had... Dude, he would have been a main eventer in the 80s. Good Lord. He would have gotten runs against Hogan. Like a significant one for the title. If you went to a WWE show and Taker was advertised, would you be excited? No. And I've seen Taker live like plenty of times, so it's not even like, oh, I've never seen him before. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times in person, so it doesn't even have that appeal for me. Oh, Lord Dragon is an evil Tommy Oliver with green and white Ranger powers. Ranger gets a roll-up pin. Ranger Ross wins it. Oh, so evil Tommy Oliver. So is he the one from the comics with that commercial that they did? Hassan is Italian. Yes, he is. That's the funniest thing. Only in pro wrestling would an Italian play a friggin' like American Muslim. Horseman Ride next. The crooked logo showed up again. They just showed a clip of it. Fuck you and your crooked logo, WCW. It's haunting me in my sleep. What if Cena ruins Hollywood for you like he did WWE? I mean, Hollywood's doing a pretty good job of ruining it itself, so I don't think they need John Cena to do that. Jinder is Canadian, yes. Well, he's got Indian heritage, but yes, he is Canadian. 14 times I brought it up last time. That almost feels low. I feel like I brought it up much more than that. God, they're showing it again. Why is Michael P.S. Hayes dressed up as Uncle Sam? That Wrestle War logo looks pretty cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest.
Got some pretty ladies sitting there in the front row, it looked like.
Introducing team number 1 from the Mescalero Reservation of
Wasn't Kofi Kingston originally billed from Jamaica, even though he's from Ghana? Yeah, and he had the accent to go along with it, too.
Youngblood brothers comprising the Renegade Warriors. That's Mark Youngblood in the ring. His younger brother Chris follows him in.
According to Wrestling Observer, at the next set of Impact tapings, they had a really bad crowd. Oh, what do you mean, like a small crowd or a really bad crowd that shit on everything? Or both. All right, we've got the Renegade Warriors taking on Arn Anderson and Barry Windham. This could be good.
And from Sweetwater, Texas, 278 pounds, Barry Windham. And we're rocking now in Gainesville, Georgia, the Georgia Mountain Center. A lot of bad blood has developed right here on TBS.
God, it's weird seeing Windham with short hair. I'm used to the long blonde locks. Oh, the Renegade Warriors get the jump on the Horsemen. It's like Tatanka, the Rockers, and the Ultimate Warrior, like, all got blended together to make a tag team.
But in this case here, they're going to have to do this a little bit more because they got a whole lot of it coming at them. Double team moves by the Renegade Warriors.
Did you watch Angle win the gold medal in '96, and did you recognize him when he came to WWF? Yes and yes. I remember watching him win the gold medal. It was actually, it might have been the first time I ever watched like amateur wrestling or or for lack of a better term, real wrestling, and I really enjoyed it, which is why I was pissed off when I heard that wrestling was being dropped from the Olympics, because I'm like, that's bullshit. That's like, there is no sport that's more Olympian than not pro wrestling, but wrestling. That is like the ultimate Olympic sport to me. And yeah, but I remember Angle winning it, and then I was like, oh, they got Kurt Angle to go to friggin' pro wrestling. I'm like, that's an interesting transition for him. Triple H was a French guy. Yes, he was. Yeah, that was bullshit. I'm like, well, you just killed like most of the reason I would have to care about the Olympics, because that was always the sport I look forward to.
And the man who wants to be the television champion of the world backs into the corner of the Horseman with a very bewildered look, almost a stern look on his face. When he gets that stern look on his face.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley was decent. Yeah, the original like Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick, it was a good way to get his foot in the door, and it gave him a foundation to build on and develop into something different down the road. It feels weird to look back on now. It's like, I can't believe that he went from this to Triple H, but it was a nice foundation for him.
They were raised on the Mescalero Indian Reservation in New Mexico, and the Horsemen know that they cannot intimidate the team. They found that out right here on TBS last Saturday, as a matter of fact. But the Renegade.
Well, we're 10 after 10 now. Has Punk's fight happened yet? Has he lost? Zelda Link's Awakening turned 25 recently. Did you play that one? It's funny, I never played that one for years. Like, I didn't play it when it came out. I didn't play it for the longest time. I got my 3DS a few years ago. I got my 3DS a few years ago, and I downloaded it on the 3DS, and I played it there, and I really liked it. I think it's a very, very good Zelda game. The Reign of Terror in 2003 was backstage politics at its worst. I mean, I hated that title reign. I really did. But, I mean, the big one for me was when Triple H was so injured that they had to change the main event to SummerSlam to an Elimination Chamber match because Triple H couldn't bump. And yet somehow Triple H retains the title. That is bullshit. Yeah, oh God, Royal Rumble 03 with Steiner. That was bad. The matches with Nash weren't that good. The matches with Goldberg weren't that good. That was a bad year for Triple H. That was a really bad year. Yeah, he was injured going into the SummerSlam match, and they had to change the main event. It was supposed to be him versus Goldberg, and they changed it to the Elimination Chamber. And Triple H spent the entire match in the chamber because he couldn't bump or do anything. Do you think Jericho will be all in? We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't rule it out. Let's say that. Arn Anderson looks like he doesn't know how to deal with these Renegade Warriors. Oh, double elbows. Yeah, Goldberg went through every spine buster by Double A. But yeah, Triple H in that match, he spent the entire match in the pod, didn't really take anything as far as bumps goes, and he still goes over, and it's like, and Goldberg like ran through and destroyed everybody in like the most Goldberg thing that he had done up to that point in the WWE, and it was like, and Triple H went over, like, what the fuck? That's stupid. Joe versus Angle getting a 1 month build, yeah, that was a huge mistake on TNA's part, I think, because they had like the hottest match that they could possibly offer, and it's like they didn't realize it. Or if they did realize it, they thought, oh, well, let's just give it to him right away. I'm like, no, you hold off on that. I would have built it up for a year. Triple H wins, LOL. Yeah. Okay, I got to be honest, so far with this Clash of Champions, I don't hate the show. Not like I did. Last week's show was putrid. This one is not great, but it's not offensively bad. And there's been a couple of good things on it. Ooh, got the knees up on Arn there. Oh, Punk time. Punk's coming out. Joe versus Angle 1 drew 60,000 buys with 1 month build. Imagine 6 months or 8 months. Yeah, I know. Oh, I remember when they had their match at Lockdown 08, and that felt like a big match. And somebody turned to me while watching that pay-per-view and said, hey, could you imagine if they did that, how big this match would feel if this was the first time they were facing each other? I'm like, yeah, I know. Who's your favorite tag team of all time? God, that's tough. I guess the Hart Foundation. I was always big into the Harts because they had the thing that I liked with where both guys brought something different to the team. You had the power guy and the athletic technical guy. So, yeah. More lovable tag team. Rock and Sock or Regal Eugene? I Rock and Sock. Yeah, Rock and Sock was funnier. They were more charming. They had great storylines. Great segments together. I really like Rock and Sock. Big superplex. 1, 2. Horsemen win it. Hart Foundation versus the Revival. Love that.
Starting to take its toll on the Warriors right here. Anderson is there winning. Started to take control of the match. He puts it down right there.
Okay, this theme that they gave the Horsemen here, it sounds like something to wrestle with. is getting ready to start. Something to wrestle with. Now, the real question should be, which is better, the Rock and Sock connection or the Mega Powers? Who's the better, like, main eventer tag team that got put together? I'll be right back. Let's get some water.
The Steiners and Brian as they mount an assault against the awesome power of the Four Horsemen. We've declared war. Wrestle War. Live only on pay-per-view Sunday, February 24th.
They're really pushing the hell out of this Wrestle War pay-per-view. Ooh, Stan Hansen versus Vader. Oh, we're getting rare Japanese footage. This is cool. Stan Hansen versus Big Van Vader. This is a nice surprise. I didn't know this was included in this. I mean, you want to see a match between two guys just beating the shit out of each other. Vader versus Stan Hansen. The loser becomes a meme, a joke. UFC commentators are savage. That's pretty savage. Oh, I thought they were going to get a finish. Nah, we only got a few minutes. Oh, they're promoting a rematch. That's why. But okay, Stan Hansen like spitting out tobacco is the nastiest thing. That is one of the grossest things I've ever seen a wrestler do. I gotta be honest, I like Stan Hansen. He's been kind of like the unsung hero of the last couple of clashes. I'm enjoying him. Vader versus Kevin Steen. Oh, Vader would murder Kevin Steen. That's not even a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, it is set for one fall. Introducing first in the ring.
Power Trip versus Rock and Sock. Is Power Trip, is that the Triple H Austin pairing from 01? Buddy Lee Parker, not the Big Boss Man. He looks like he's got like a Big Boss Man shirt and a Sergeant Slaughter hat. And we got Flying Brian. What do you think of TM61 and NXT? I think they're good. I think they're a solid team. It's a shame that like injuries have kind of kept them sidelined. Vader versus Mil Muertes. I'd like to see that. Sergeant Bossman. Yeah. Yeah, they just haven't, TM61, they just haven't done anything yet. They've just kind of always just been there. They're just there. And it's like, it's just a matter of like getting them to, plugging them in and actually finding something to do with them.
Coach Kenwood, and he said, let me tell you what, he said, this man could do it all. And he said that, and I keep using it all night. I must be going crazy. My critics are really getting to it, but I'm saying again, pound for pound, he's as bad as they come, and I like this kid a lot.
I saw a great takeover by Flying Brian. He was a two-time All-American in Miami, Ohio, the captain of their football team, most valuable player. Heck, he played pro football with the Bills, and in the CFL in Canada with Calgary. This is a heck of a tough kid. As we said, Coach Kenwood, the strength coach.
Pillman circa 91 versus AJ Styles circa 05. Oh, God. Like, old school Brian Pillman with the X Division guys would have been cool. Matanza and Mil Muertes versus Kane and The Undertaker. That'd be insane. They'd, like, shoot lightning at each other and try to murder each other. It'd be great. Did you know Kevin Owens signed a 5-year contract with WWE recently? I did not know that. I guess that's good for him. You know, has a steady job.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's alive tonight. He's got to be with all of them because right here, we coming to you in your
How about Pillman and Liger versus AJ and Daniels? Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, the Chicago crowd is chanting for Punk. I'm not surprised. Yeah, Pillman, again, it's that sad thing where had all this raw athletic ability and was so good, and then he got injured and it killed it, and then in 97, he became like one of the best promo guys in the business, but he couldn't really work anymore, and it's like, man, you just, damn. You get like 91 Pillman's body with 97 Pillman's like promos, and you have like a main event star for the 90s. Like, oh my God. Owen said he may retire after those 5 years are up, depending on how he and his family feel. That's good. You know. Look at Pillman fly. There you go. Yep, yeah, Big Boss Man saying, well, I don't know, like, I thought as a babyface he cut some okay promos. He wasn't great, but 98, 99 Boss Man is like the biggest asshole in the world and was awesome, but he couldn't work as well anymore. So it's like, damn. Up, there's Brian again. Flying, Brian will fly. Crossbody, 1, 2, and 3. Nice match. Like that. See, again, it's basically a squash match. Let him show off what he can do, and he gets an easy win. No problem. No problem with that. That was basically like the high flyer version of the Sid match from earlier, where it's just show off what they can do and, you know, showcase their strengths. Rick Rude versus AJ Styles. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see that pairing. I don't know if Rude could get the Rude Awakening on AJ, though. Do you remember how people were feeling the day after the gun segment on Raw with Pillman? People were shocked by it. I remember that. Some people were pissed off by it. Some people loved it. I'm more in the Punk won the first round? Are you fucking kidding me? Is the guy they paired him up with really that bad? Because I hear he doesn't have a whole lot of experience either. Yeah, the Hollywood Blondes were great. I like them. Did Pillman ever face Ric Flair on pay-per-view back in the day? Not one-on-one. I don't think so. Is Punk actually going to win this fucking fight? Okay, I'm looking on Twitter. I just saw like a clip of Punk like getting some opening shots in. Hey, we don't need to watch UFC, guys. We got Missy Hyatt about to arm wrestle Paulie dangerously.
Well, we've heard a lot of talking from both sides on this situation. But right now, let's go up for a very special introduction. Let's go up to Gary Michael Patel.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I have great pleasure in introducing 2 times
Hollywood Blondes versus Team 3D. That'd have been great.
Country DJ of the Year.
They both look really bad, though, like a YouTube house party fight. That sounds about okay. That makes sense. Yeah, the Hollywood Blondes did have a cool theme. I remember that.
And since it is a clash of champions, I'd like to say a special hello to some real champions, our service members in the Middle East. God bless you. We're grateful. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Is AJ Lee there? I'd imagine she would be.
The WPAA champion, many years in a row. Let's hear it from Mr. Johnny Walker.
Okay, they've already put way too much effort into this arm wrestling thing. Oh, look at him. He's all in shape. Like, look at Paul. He's doing jumping jacks. He's got a pink neon jacket over shirt, whatever the fuck that is. I mean, you gotta love Paul Heyman. He just did a Hulk Hogan pose. That's great. That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the co-host. She hails from Tallahassee, Florida, the first lady of wrestling, Missy Hyatt. Paulie is ready.
Yeah, AJ Lee has this weird thing. She's not unattractive, but she has this weird thing where she looks way younger than she is. Like, she looks like she could pass for like a 17-year-old. Or maybe even younger than that, like 15, 14. Paulie looks like a dorky kid's dad. Yes, he does. That is the best description. If this were the Attitude Era, Missy would have, like, ripped her shirt off. Oh, she's going to rip her shirt off. Okay.
Yes, sir, he did it. Oh, turn them children
Oh, it's over.
Yes.
They don't even realize it.
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Paul was distracted by her tits, and he lost in, like, 2 seconds. Okay. Okay. I mean, if a woman put her tits in my face, I wouldn't know what to do either. I'll tell you what, like, Paul's selling it well, and this could have been much worse. Like, I know that this is kind of notorious, and like a lot of people hate this, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just sitting through all those bad Raw segments, but this is like, I've seen so much worse than this, that this was actually kind of sort of, I don't want to say good, but they got out of it relatively unscathed. Three minutes into round 2, and Punk's taking a beating, hurt to the body, on his back, looking like a white belt week 2 of classes. Lawrence Taylor hanging out with Ric Flair. I'm going to main event WrestleMania one day, boy. Future WrestleMania. Okay, you have Ric Flair and Lawrence Taylor sitting in the same room, and I said future WrestleMania main eventer, and I wasn't talking about Ric Flair.
Off the cover price. The Wrestling Wrap-Up is not available in stores, so subscribe now by calling 404-827-4048 and charge by Visa or MasterCard, or send your check or money order to the Wrestling Wrap-Up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is set for one fall with TV time remaining.
Okay, it's main event time. How does the belt system work? It always confuses me. I don't know. Like in like martial arts, like I don't know like how the belt system works. I heard someone say that Flair HBK should have main evented 24. I mean, it could have. It would have worked, but I don't think like Edge and Taker wasn't like a disaster of a main event, so.
What a matchup you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen. Steiner, two-time All-American from the University of Michigan, will
Okay, we've got Ric Flair taking on Scott Steiner for the world title. This is going to be good, or at least fun. Up there's the ladies bringing out the Nature Boy. Why is he not coming out to Space Odyssey? Okay. That's weird. Why is Flair not coming out to Space Odyssey? That's.
I would like to introduce you to representative from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Mr.
Hiro Matsuda.
And of course, the winner of this match will take on Tatsumi Fujinami in March.
Better moment, Sting joining the NWO or Sting at the end of Uncensored 97? Sting at the end of Uncensored 97, that was awesome. That was one of my favorite WCW moments. That was awesome.
And ladies and gentlemen, also in attendance, he is the largest athlete in the world. 7 feet, 7 inches, 450 pounds. Paul
Elegante, what the fuck is he doing there? Yeah, they really wanted him to be like an Andre for them, because you can see it. He's like, oh, he's so happy and smiling and likes the kids, and they wanted him to be like their version of Andre, but didn't happen. What happened at Uncensored 97? After months of not doing anything, Sting finally attacked the NWO, and it was great. God damn, he looks tall, though. It's like, you get mad at promoters for, people would say, how could a promoter, hire someone as untalented as Elegante or John Gonzalez? It's like, yeah, but he's big as fuck. I mean, look at him. It's like he's clearly got hired for how tall he was. Flight of the Valkyrie or Space Odyssey? Which one's more iconic? Oh, God. I think in, the real world, Flight of the Valkyries is more iconic, but in wrestling, Space Odyssey is. If that makes any sense. Was Andre's Mania 6 match his last WWF match? I believe so, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scotty's like, get on the mat and wrestle me, bitch. God damn, Scott Steiner looks like Kurt Angle. He looks like he's built like Kurt Angle. I once took a helicopter ride, and while they were taking off, they played that song, Flight of the Valkyries. It's appropriate. What did you think of Scott Steiner and Petey Williams in TNA? I thought they had some good chemistry. I didn't think that the little Petey pump thing was going to, help Petey in the long term, but it's I thought some of the stuff they did with each other was funny. Scott Steiner did go to college. Yes, he did. As shocking as that may seem to some people.
Steiner going for a single leg pick up at Flair, staying very close to the ropes. He knows that senior referee Nick Patrick will step in there when they go to the ropes and break the maneuver. I think it's really important in a match like this that you have the best.
Punk battered the whole third round. His face is a mess, but his chin held up to some shots, and he made it to the end of the fight. So is he going to lose the fight on decision? I actually like the original Fight of the Valkyries more than the Daniel Bryan version. Yeah, the Daniel Bryan version I don't like. I don't know why they changed it. We got to jazz it up and make it sound like it's from electric guitars. It's like, dude, just use Flight of the Valkyries. Like, what are you doing? There you go, hammerlock takedown, or top wrist lock takedown, sorry.
Mr. Flair don't want to get into a joint conversation with him when he's got this kid in there ready to take the role in any second.
Of course, no matter the outcome of this match here tonight on TBS.
Yeah, Flair's had a couple of duds the last couple of Clash of Champions, so it's nice to see him like come through and have like a solid match this time. Oh God, if Daniel Bryan had come out to the final countdown at WrestleMania 30, I would have lost my shit. Back body drop by Steiner. Flair goes flying. Oh, sidewalk slam. Flair's under the rope. Yeah, the final countdown, it's just perfect. Of course, whenever I hear that song, I think of Arrested Development more than anything else, but, you know.
Drive that emotion, and sometimes a man can win on emotion alone, baby.
You think that Flair's going to use the ropes and use everything he can as far as getting out of the ring, breaking the momentum to keep this kid a little off?
Punk lost. Well, at least he made it all the way through the fight this time. Taker should come out to waste tears. I don't know. I thought the Johnny Cash Ain't No Grave That Can Hold My Body Down. If, like, you're going to use a song for Taker, I think that was the best one to go with. Yeah, Okada's music is pretty cool. I actually like it a lot. All right. Off to the ropes. Steiner goes down. Hip toss by Scott Steiner. Arm drag by Steiner. So, okay, so now that Punk is lost to a novice, can we finally put the kibosh on his MMA career, please? No, because Taker's wasting our time now. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Undertaker got me into Limp Bizkit. No shame. Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, sure. Whatever floats your boat, man. Look, we all make decisions we regret later in life. I liked the Ernest movies when I was 6, and apparently no one remembers them. How many people do you think are tweeting, "See you at All In, CM Punk"? I think they're probably tweeting, "Get this joker out of our sport," is probably what's being tweeted at him. And I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on Punk, but it's like, dude, you were not built for MMA. I don't know why you thought this was a good idea. No one remembers the Luck of the Irish match, but you do. Yeah. That's an odd blessing. It's like, look, I'd rather be the only one that remembers that piece of shit and be burdened with that than have it remembered by everybody.
Tremendous strength exhibited by Scott Steiner, and Flair stomps away at the knee of Scott Steiner. We may see the strategy early unfolding here, as we know Flair is a
all right. Clothesline, Steiner line. I keep fucking that up. Oh my God. I just saw a picture of what Punk looked like after the fight. Jesus. He looks royally fucked up. What did you think of Nakamura's New Japan theme? Loved it. I thought it was cool. Suplex by Steiner. Oh, God. Ric Flair was great at screaming when he would sell. Punk looked really bad. He didn't have head movement. He looked stiff on his feet, really bad kicks, and shot his takedowns from too far out. He didn't look like someone who trained as long as he has. Should Taker have kept the Ain't No Grave theme? I'll say no, because eventually, like, the network would have, like, or WWE would have taken the theme out of, like, reviewings of those shows anyway. So it's easier. The fewer shows that have the song, you know, the less work that the poor people in production have to do to block out those things. Sunset flip by Steiner. No. What went wrong? CM Punk in UFC. Core concept. Core concept. That's what went wrong. Guess you could say that Punk got punked out. Yeah, he did. Thought he was Brock. I don't know if he thought he was Brock. I think he was just too self-assured of it. Like, there's such a thing as being too confident. Flair's got his feet in the ropes. Should Punk come back to WWE now? No. Because of the poor, like, I mean, with the court case that just happened and all the bad feelings there, it would not be a good for anybody, because there's just too much emotional baggage there. This match continues after this break. Oh, figure 4 by Scott Steiner. How would Ryback do in UFC? Has he been trained? Because if not, probably very poorly. I mean, does he have any? I assumed he had no background in that type of stuff. So, assuming I'm right, I'd say he would probably do very poorly.
Scott Steiner had started to regroup himself just a little bit and started to make a little more moves and bring Flair back into perspective. Is that Scott Steiner is quicker, faster, stronger.
Oh, that shot looked a little low, Rick.
Flair now pushing Steiner back into the ropes and sends him for the ride, but he missed the elbow. Steiner missed the Steiner line. And Flair got him.
Oh, that was bad. They were doing the crossbody flip over thing, and Flair like kind of overshot Steiner and flew over the rope, and kind of like rolled out of the ring without rolling out without Scott. So Scott basically threw himself out of the ring. That didn't look too good. Doesn't Nakamura have MMA training? I don't know if he does or not. Did you ever watch the Ronaldo doc? No, I haven't. I haven't checked it out yet. Remember that right that Brock put on Braun during the triple threat match? I do remember that. That was kind of a stiff shot. 10 minutes of TV time remaining. So I imagine we're getting a time limit draw here. Is Undertaker still the best pure striker in WWE or wrestling history? Well, how do you define that? Like, I mean, the best pure striker would be Brock, pretty much by default, but I mean, you want to talk about like best worked punches? I mean, Taker had some pretty good worked punches. Nakamura trained at the Inoki Dojo for about 2 years in MMA, had a few K1 fights. Okay. Punk is never coming back to WWE. Yeah. Nakamura has a good MMA record, something like 5 wins, 1 loss. Okay. Oh. Now, Scotty is the one with the injured leg, and we know what happens when Ric Flair starts attacking the leg. Why was Big Show's KO punch allowed if closed fists are supposed to be illegal? They haven't enforced that rule in practically decades, so it's like, whatever. Brock's a wrestler. He's no striker in the shoot fight game. That is an yeah, Flair's hair looks weird. It's like, dude, I don't know who your barber is. That is a weird-looking haircut for Flair. Dream match, Brock Lesnar versus Minoru Suzuki. Oh, look at Rick trying to get... Oh, but the referee admonishing Rick Steiner, and that allows Ric Flair to cheat. The 5-second rule. Oh, yeah, nobody follows the 5-second rule anymore in wrestling. I'd rather see Mil Mascaras versus Suzuki. Yeah, because I tell you how that would go. Mil Mascaras will no-sell Suzuki, and Suzuki will be like, fuck you, and then proceed to beat the ever-living shit out of him. That's how that would go. Suzuki would kill Lesnar. If anybody would know how to kill Lesnar, it's Minoru Suzuki. That dude legit gives me, like, friggin' chills whenever I look at him. It's like, I would not want to run it. He is the one wrestler that I can think of today that legitimately intimidates me. Oh, Suzuki would stiff the fuck out of Mil. Like, that would be no question. And Mil would deserve it because he would no-sell him. I know how Mil operates, so... There you go. He flipped it over. Suzuki will be leading the Yakuza anytime now, as if he's not already. Suzuki versus Matanza. I would love to see that match, actually. Both men with bad wheels. Neckbreaker by Scott. It looked like a rude awakening. What's a Suzuki? Minoru Suzuki currently works for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been around for a long time, several decades, I think, like 3 decades or something. He's like in his mid-50s, and he's still like the scariest dude. Like, there's an old guy that I'm like, nope, as long as he can still scare the shit out of me and still work as well as he works, he can do whatever he wants. Suzuki versus King Haku. Oh, my God. Like, you get, like, 2018 Suzuki versus 88 Haku. I shudder to think what that would be like. Steiner line! And Flair just did a face flop outside the ring. Because that's one of my favorite things about Haku, or the Haku stories about what a badass he is. It's almost like the way some of the wrestlers talk about Haku. If you've ever seen Blazing Saddles, the Mongo scene, where Mongo rides into town and just beats the shit out of everybody, and Sheriff Bart goes to deal with him, and then Gene Wilder's character is like, no, don't shoot him. You'll just make him mad. I feel like that's the level of like what we're dealing with Haku here, with some of the stories.
he has to go right there. I'm gonna tell you, Scott Steiner, don't look at no referee. Don't look at the crowd. If you gonna hit him, man.
Flair now again, taking over.
Figure 4 again by Flair, but Steiner gets a roll up. 1, 2, no. I've heard Andre the Giant truly feared Haku. That would be, yeah. Suzuki versus Bane. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was a man, and until then it was nothing to me but blinding. I love Tom Hardy. Sleeper hold by Steiner. Who would win, Suzuki or Godzilla? Suzuki by tap out. Here we go. Steiner line. Steiner line. Okay, see, now that's not a disqualification. I hate that rule so much because they can never, like, consistently enforce it. It's just, yeah, Steiner just clotheslined Flair over the top rope, and they said that's not a DQ. Even though Doom got disqualified for throwing Sting out of the ring, even though Sting clearly threw himself out of the ring. I'd rather see Suzuki versus Zilla, yeah. Godzilla Earth, ooh. Maybe Godzilla Earth will do a little better against Suzuki. What's your favorite movie quote of all time? Favorite movie quote of all time? I've never really thought about it. Get your foot off the rope, Rick. I guess it would be something from Rocky, because that's my favorite movie. Something like, I don't know, the ending to Rocky 2. Yo, Adrian, I did it.
2 minutes remaining of television time. Flair in control at this juncture. Side headlock. Steiner barely able to get that shoulder up.
Okay, now it looks like they're just waiting for the time to run out. Because, well, I guess it makes sense that Flair would work it like that because he just wants... They doing a bridge? Bridge up. There you go, bridge up. Double underhook by Scott. Yes! Tiger bomb. Flair rolls out of the ring. Oh, God. Suzuki versus Darth Vader. Darth Vader because he has a lightsaber. Come on, Scott. Drops the elbow. Big Steiner line. Flying Steiner line. Suzuki versus the Sun Crusher. Oh, God. Well, technically, the Sun Crusher can't be destroyed, so I guess the Sun Crusher would have the advantage there. How is Darth Vader Luke Skywalker's father when Vader is... Oh! Come on, hurry up, Scott. Belly to belly. Nope. How is Darth Vader Luke Skywalker's father when Vader is black? Yeah. If he dies, he dies. Father Time is Suzuki's bitch. That's a great line. Bye-bye. Rush that. Okay. That show wasn't terrible. Like I said, it was nowhere, like last week's show was so bad that this one was a massive improvement. Nothing overly memorable. The main event was fine, but not great. Yeah, it was just it was a watchable show, but not necessarily a particularly memorable one. Okay, whenever I hear about Harley Race, the thing that always pops into my mind is the Kevin Nash stories, like being in the locker room with Harley Race and just seeing him sitting there with a cigar, like with the ash like that long. It's like, I told that motherfucker. And whenever I hear Harley Race's name, that's what I think about. Well, they didn't have the crooked logo, so, you know, I didn't have to talk about it as much. Okay, that concludes Clash of the Champions 91. We got Wrestle War 91 coming up, guys. I recommend watching that show just for the War Games match, because that War Games match was great. And I don't remember if the Stan Hansen Vader match was any good. I hope it was, because that sounds pretty cool. Sin Cara versus Suzuki in a shoot, similar build. Sin Cara would fall flat on his face, and then Suzuki would tap him out. Okay, we're going to watch Saturday night's main event 15. But before we do that, I need to run to the bathroom real quick. So I am going to take a quick break. I will be right back, so stay tuned for more. I have returned. How are you all doing? Will you stream your reactions to Lucha Underground's return next week? Probably not, because I'm going to be busy doing various other things. I am going to watch Lucha Underground next week, but like going to all the trouble of actually filming my reaction to it, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to dedicate. I don't know if I'll be able to keep myself focused enough with all the other things I'm going to be doing to film my reactions to it as well. It's one less thing to worry about if I don't. Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to watch some Saturday night's main event, guys. All right, now this particular episode we're watching is one that I think very highly of. And as I've said before, of all the Saturday Night's Main Event episodes that I've seen before in their entirety, this one is my favorite one. Like I said, when I've gone through all 36, we'll see if it stays that way. But I think a lot of this episode. So this is one of like the definitive Saturday Night's Main Events to me. All right, so we're going to go, if you're following along on the WWE Network, we're going to go to, once again, shows, Vault, Saturday Night's Main Event, and then we're going to go into 1988, and it's going to be the March 88 episode. March 12, 1988. I'll give you all a few minutes to get caught up to that. You should use the after these messages bumpers from ABC when you take breaks. That'd be cool. We'll be right back. Whoa, what happened? Okay, can you guys see me or anything? Yeah, my camera just died on me. Can you guys hear me and see me now? That it just it just magically went blank. You can hear me but not see me. That's not good. Because I'm on the... Okay, let's try this. Now you can see me. You can see me now? I'm back. Okay, so I'm back. It sounds like I'm back. Okay, good, good. Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous. Like, yeah, friggin' Firefox just shut down randomly and like turned my camera off. I don't know what happened, but I think we're okay now. All right, good, 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 good. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. So, okay, welcome back, guys. What was my impression of John Cena? What was? No, my impression of John Cena is, hey, everybody. We're going to have a fun time tonight, guys. Look at the WWE Universe. You all jacked up tonight. Here to have some fun and some entertainment. Okay. Oh, I get it. Well, you couldn't see me. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's clever. That's clever. Okay, now it appears I'm back. Hopefully we have no more problems for the rest of the show. But all right. We're going to watch some Saturday Night's Main Event, an episode that I can't wait to relive. All right, Saturday Night's Main Event, March 12th, 1988. Hulk Hogan battles Harley Race. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, faces Randy Savage, and Greg Valentine collides with Brutus Beefcake. This is actually Ted DiBiase's Saturday Night's Main Event debut, which is interesting. You think he would have been on it by now, but yeah, and this is heading into WrestleMania 4, so we're just coming off of the main event, and we're heading into the championship tournament at WrestleMania 4, so we're building into that. But yeah, we got some very interesting matchups here. We got a preview to the main event of the tournament at WrestleMania 4. We got former tag team partners colliding in Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. And we've got like the battle of these legendary champions, Hulk Hogan and Harley Race. So we've got... My dad told me he lied, Hogan and Greg Valentine. You mean liked? He liked them? Yeah, I mean, I liked them too when I was a kid. But yeah, this show should be very entertaining. I'm looking forward to watching it again. So, if you're following along on the network, there was Saturday Night's Main Event in 2007. Yes, there was. Yes, they kept doing it in 06, 07, and 08. And it wasn't great. Can't wait to get to those episodes. But anyway, anyone who's following along in the network, are you caught up and you ready to start? Ted is one of the best heels ever. I agree with that. He's the best heel of all time to not hold the WWF title. That's for sure. Not officially, anyway. Okay. Sounds like we're all set. All right, so I'm going to hit the play button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every ECW show on demand. The problem with ECW... It looks amazing in highlight packages. It looks incredible in highlight packages. When you actually sit down and watch entire shows, not always great.
There's no room in the danger zone for your kind and your money. You're a big and the Macho Man is gonna bounce you out of here for good.
Savage is the best. I love Savage. And Elizabeth looks scared to death of him, which is great.
One too many guitars to the head. $1 million man is what class and fiscal responsibility to the World Wrestling Federation. Unlike what the Macho Man brings to the ring, tonight you'll see what I bring to the ring. And it's worth its weight in gold.
Oh, that evil laugh is so great.
Says heads up. You're on the cutting edge of sports entertainment. Tonight,
oh my God, they used sports entertainment back then?
With Greg the Hammer Valentine. It'll be a sheer delight. Yo,
like the pun.
Everybody, yeah, this is the Slickster here with the
One Man Gang's logo looks awesome, by the way.
Right here in Nashville, Tennessee, baby. Kim Patera.
Someone from WWE needs to see your Ted video so they could reconsider his recognition as a world champion. I mean, I think Vince and Stephanie have better things to do. Oh, Bobby Heenan and Harley Race. But
tonight you're going to see Hulk Hogan on his hands.
Yeah, I feel like Vince and Stephanie have better things to do with their time than watch my YouTube videos, but I think Ted should be recognized as a former WWE champion.
The Hulkster will never bow. The Hulkster will never break.
Hello, brother. Hey, dude.
But tonight, Harley Race will be crowned like he's never been crowned before.
Yes. By the way, this is the first Saturday Night's Main Event where Hogan is not the champion. What was the 80s equivalent of Raw? I mean, I guess it would be like Saturday Night's Main Event, but those were more like irregular specials rather than like a weekly show. For a weekly show, I guess it would be Primetime Wrestling. But that was just like guys making comments and them showing matches from around the country. Hogan looks like he snorted a bunch of coke. He probably did. Did you know what they're doing with Baron Corbin? He's the constable. He's the constable of Raw. It's fucking stupid. It's really fucking stupid. Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura. He's not a redneck. This is why I miss the 80s, because it was so great to watch the wrestlers fuck with Vince. It's retroactively, like, as a kid, I didn't realize Vince was the owner. But now that I know that he was the owner the whole time, going back and watching this shit is hilarious, because it's like, oh my God, look at Piper and Ventura and Heenan just shit talk Vince the entire time they're out there with him. It's great. Because, you know, they don't have enough authority figures as it is.
Or Dr. Footage McMahon. You should be ashamed.
This is a Dr. Footage. This is the last main event in prime time with 35 million people saw this prophecy of justice.
You know, McMahon, now that I look, this doesn't even look like Indianapolis to me. That's not even the same building.
Do it now and you get suspended. Just ask Titus. Yeah, right. Steph is off the show, so they're contractually obligated to have at least one evil boss at all times. Yeah, Hogan got his shoulder up at 1.
Here's the problem right here, McMahon. The double referee shenanigans that Hogan pulled. Plastic surgery. I don't know where he found this second referee, but there's your problem. That's why you had an incompetent referee, because Hogan knew he was going to lose and he needed to cause this controversy.
Hogan would never stoop to those depths. I'm sure
Hulk Hogan would never stoop that low. Hollywood Hogan, on the other hand. Okay, we're going to be opening up with Brutus Beefcake versus Greg Valentine, a match that might be the best singles match of Brutus Beefcake's career. It's either this or there's another Saturday night's main event down the road where he works with Savage, and I thought that match was pretty good too.
You know, Brutus is no match for the Hammer. For years, as former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion.
Would Terry Bollea stoop that low? Maybe. Do you watch What Culture videos in your spare time? I've watched a few. Yeah, they're good. I like them. Wasn't Beefcake in the NWO? Yes, he was. He was the disciple.
What do you know about wrestling? Nothing. Come on, Hammer. We got work to do.
The one thing I will say, Vince, is Jimmy Hart has certainly revitalized Greg the Hammer into the top contender. Brutus the Barber has got his work cut out. Pardon the pun for him tonight. Let's go back to you.
He could indeed have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Barber's going to have his work cut out for him. That's funny. That's funny. Super funny. I'm pretty sure half the WCW roster was in the NWO at some point. Pretty close to it. Who wasn't in the NWO? Yeah. Best WWF manager, Bobby Heenan. Thunder should have been the NWO show. I think they wanted to get to that point, but for whatever reason, they just didn't pull the trigger on it. Who had more members, NWO or Main Event Mafia? Oh, NWO. Like, Main Event Mafia never got that big.
Are starting to catch up with me.
At least he's self-aware that he's getting too punny. Now this is part of like Vince's whole like Vince like assumes that the fans have short memories or something, because I would totally bill this match as like a battle of former tag team partners, and they're not really doing that. Bullet Club or NWO? NWO still. Brutus Beefcake, yeah, I assault people with deadly weapons. You know what? People make fun of Beefcake. He was over as shit. I mean, people say, it's like, oh, he only got pushes because he was Hogan's friend, and I'm sure that was a lot of it, but he was fucking over. It's not like he wasn't over. Is the whole joke of a pun that it's so cheesy that it becomes funny? I think the whole joke of a pun is that it's so bad that us being victimized by the bad joke is funny. I think that's what makes it funny. Oh, Vince mentioned it. Okay, he mentioned that they're former tag partners. Vince is even talking about it and analyzing it. I take away my comment. Duck down. The high knee by Beefcake. Valentine goes down. Like how the live streams became Q&As. I kind of like it too. That's kind of nice. Because I felt bad that I stopped doing the Q&A videos, but I could never find like, ooh, running big boot by Beefcake. Valentine goes down. He's strutting and cutting. Did the guy in pink borrow Natalia's attire? Maybe. Atomic drop. And another atomic drop. I mean, he had a knee rammed up his butt. That hurts. Another high knee, and down he goes. Oh, jackknife roll-up by Beefcake. Look at that. What did you think of Space Jam? I'm a big Looney Tunes fan, so looking at it from the perspective of a Looney Tunes fan, I don't think it represents them that well. That's really all I have to say. They basically took a 30-second commercial and made it into a movie. That's all there is to say about it. I don't hate it. I don't like passionately hate it, but it's not something I like to revisit. I thought Looney Tunes Back in Action was, while not great, was closer to the mark. There you go. Valentine's back in it. Dropping the hammer. High knee. Yeah, the high knee. A booty man pun. It's clever. Duck season, fire! Duck season, wabbit season. Duck season, wabbit season. Off the top by Greg. Beefcake is down. Another one. I actually didn't like Lola Bunny because she felt like a corporate creation to me. Like just a very, to me, the Looney Tunes should be timeless, and she feels like something that's so such a creation of ad agencies or whatever. Now, Lola Bunny in the Looney Tunes show, voiced by Kristen Wiig, I thought she was great. Did you feel sorry for Daffy? In a way, yes, but Daffy was also my favorite, and he was my favorite because he was miserable. So it's when Daffy was miserable, it was funny. So, I mean, I think Duck-a-Muck is the greatest Looney Tune cartoon ever made. I would even say it's the greatest animated short ever made. And here comes the Intercontinental Champion, the Honky Tonk Man. Brutus Beefcake's top contender, and they faced each other at WrestleMania 4. Again, with Honky Tonk, it's like not the greatest worker, but goddamn, he was so good at getting heat and being a dickhead that it's like you can't like fault it. Now I'm picturing Beefcake cutting Honky's guitar strings with his giant scissors. I'm surprised they didn't do that. That seems like a natural thing to do. I'm surprised they didn't do it. And now he's shit talking the fans. Honky's great. Oh. Greg Valentine's beating the shit out of Beefcake. All right, figure 4 time. Oh. Hocus Pocus is my favorite episode. Favorite episode of what? Do you like Van Halen? Yes, I do. I love Van Halen. Great stuff. Now he's working over the legs, setting him up for the figure 4. Hot for Teacher, that's a good one. Jump's a good one. Panama is probably my favorite. That was actually the reason I went to go see Superbad, which I can't believe that movie's like 11 years old. Beefcake is pulling on the tights, trying to roll him over. That's one way to break up the figure 4. But the reason I went to go see Superbad 11 years ago, into the corner, Greg goes. Elbow to the face by Beefcake. Because in the Superbad trailer, they played Panama, and I'm like, well, I got to go see that because they played Panama in the trailer. Finish what you started. That's a good one, too. Elbow to the face, and Greg is down. Oh, he's calling for the sleeper hold. Sleeper hold. Time to go nighty-night. This is a pretty good match. Were these two mid-carders? Yes, yes. Oh, Valentine got to the ropes, and they both fall outside the ring. Ain't Talking About Love. That's a good one. Oh, nice shot to the face. Boom, and another one. Now Jimmy Hart just attacked Beefcake. Might want to run, Jimmy. Look at Jimmy. He just did like a Sami Zayn thing where he dove across like the two sides of the corner of the ring. Look at that. Back suplex. 1, 2. Okay. Beefcake got his shoulder up on the back suplex, but Greg did not. So I think Beefcake got the win. They used to do that finish a lot back in the day. He got his shoulder up, but Greg did not. Oh, Brutus has the scissors. Oh, he's cutting Greg. He cut out a lock of Greg's hair. That's some insult to injury right there for you. I'm going to attack you and stab you. I'm the baby face. I'm the baby face. And the fans are rooting for him to murder somebody. I always wanted Ambrose to use Dirty Deeds as his theme song once that was his finisher. Yeah. It's like, part of me wishes they would use like real songs as intro themes like they used to do. WWF was great when you only had 4 pay-per-views to look forward to, right?
A lot of the responsibility for the fact that Hulk Hogan no longer holds the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight crown.
Oh, and will I be glad to shoulder that responsibility. Yes, I was the force behind that. But wasn't that a beautiful sight? Watching Andre the Giant humble Hulk Hogan, wipe out Hulkamania as you poor little punk humanoid Hulkamaniac sat there with your nose sniffling and the tears pouring out of your eyes. Well, tonight, get real close to that ring. Get real close to your TV.
Bobby was so great.
What you're going to see tonight is Hulk Hogan on his hands and knees.
King of the Ring didn't show up until about 1993.
To the one and the only true king of the World Wrestling Federation, the King, Harley Race. And if you all want to bow too, feel free. It's going to become a brand new thing to do. This is how you do it. This is how you show respect.
Please, Your Majesty, give me a break.
Let me tell you something, Hogan. It was proven that you're mortal. And all mortal men are going to bow to the king.
One other treat. One other treat. Tonight, you're going to see Hulk Hogan not only bow and kneel.
Now, this match coming up with Hogan and Harley Race is one of the most famous matches from Saturday night's main event. And is one of my personal favorites from the show's history because it is not only do you get this unique pairing of Hogan and Harley Race, but the match itself is crazy and in some ways way ahead of its time. There's a table bump in this match. And in like 1988 WWE, like a table bump was like, what's that? Like, what the fuck is a table bump? Now, supposedly, Harley Race got hurt doing this, and this match led to the end of his career, but I think Harley was kind of getting close to the end of his rope anyway, so I mean, he was no spring chicken at this point.
Let's take you back to the Hulkster now with me, Jake.
Hulk Hogan just moments ago
There's Hulk Hogan.
stated that Hulkamania had been humbled by Andre the Giant. Now, tonight, the king of the Heenan family, Harley Race.
First off, Mean Gene, Hulkamania will never die, brother. The big wheels of Hulkamania, they're turning away. In a Harley Race, you're the only thing in my way before I get to WrestleMania and before I get back to the world title. Oh, yeah, you're a smart man. You sold Andre the Giant because you knew.
Did you know that Kenny Omega trained at a camp that Harley Race ran? It's like, well, if that's true, then they produced a hell of a talent.
As far as I'm concerned, Harley Race, when I get done with you tonight, all the Weasel's horses and all the Weasel's men will never put the team back together again.
Great promo. Yeah, isn't it great having a WWE show where the matches are already announced beforehand and they know what matches they're going to have?
Well, I think the Hulk's pumped up, but I think the man must feel naked out there. I mean, this is the first time he's headed for a ring without that big, graphical...
It's weird seeing Hogan without the belt. He's been the champion at every single Saturday night's main event we've watched so far, and now he's not the champion. Oh, he's chasing Heenan. William Regal is the best authority figure WWE has. I agree. Because he comes out and makes decisions and announces matches. That's literally all he does. All right. Harley gets some elbows in. Nope. But Hogan's too pissed. He's like, dude, I just got screwed out of... Oh, they headbutt each other. And Harley gets another headbutt in. Another headbutt. They're still playing Real American. The match hasn't started yet. Another headbutt. Now Hogan's like, fuck you. I'm no selling that shit. And now Hogan gets a shot. Another one. Another one. Off the ropes. And another shot. Down goes Race. And he tears off the shirt while standing over taking down Harley Race. That is an awesome looking visual right there. What happened to the 30-day title defense rule in WWE? I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, it doesn't apply anymore. Another clothesline, and Harley goes flying. Out of the ring. And he lands on a table.
Hogan's taking it out to the floor now. Bobby the Brain came back down the ringside, maybe to assist the King. It looks like the King could use some help right about now.
And oh, Hogan rams him shoulder first into the post. And Hogan wants to murder Bobby Heenan because Heenan orchestrated the whole screw job at the main event. Oh, God, look at Heenan crawl across the table. Pile driver outside the ring. Oh, nope. Hogan backdrops him. And an atomic drop. It's funny, I never see the atomic drop anymore. I've already seen 3 on this show. Head first into the ring post. Jesus. Hogan breaks the count. Bobby the Heenan Weasel. Good one, Vince. Yeah, but here's the weird thing. They don't do the atomic drop anymore, but I see the reverse atomic drop all the time, and that looks like even more of a nut shot. Hogan is beating the shit out of Harley Race. Now Hogan's untaping his fist, and he's choking Harley Race because babyface. Hogan is pissed. And a clothesline by Hogan. Hogan's pissed because he got screwed out of the title, so he's just taking it out on poor Harley Race. Now he's got his hands on Heenan. Harley gets an advantage. Headbutt. Diving headbutt. What went wrong? David Flair. Too much too soon. That's what went wrong there. Belly to belly suplex by Harley. Knee drop by Harley. This is probably it's one of Hogan's better Saturday Night's Main Event matches. And I'd say it's probably Harley's best match in the WWF. Pile driver by Harley. God, now he's killing Hogan. Benoit diving headbutt. No, more of a standing diving headbutt. Throws Hogan out of the ring. Here comes the table bump. He drops Hogan on. Oh, keep in mind, this is like a metal table. Like, it looks metal. Now, look what happens here if you're watching on the network. Harley goes for a headbutt, misses, and that table did not break. It bent. It did not break. Oh. That looked nasty. Harley gets Hogan back in the ring. Yeah, apparently, like, that move really fucked him up, injury-wise. Yeah, New Japan tables, it's like, guys, seriously, you can gimmick the tables a little bit. Good God. Diving headbutt, he hit it! And that one was off the top. But yeah, when I saw that Ibushi-Cody match with the table where... And Hogan's hulking up. Yeah, but in the Cody-Ibushi match, when Cody's, like, body broke through the table, like, the middle of the table, but the table frame didn't break, I'm like, guys, you can gimmick those tables a little bit. Hogan's back. 1, 2. Into the corner. Clothesline. And another huge clothesline. Harley's down. Leg drop. 1, 2, 3. Great match. That was a cool fucking match. More badass when Hogan hulked up or Goldberg. I'd say Goldberg's more badass. Who would win, Will Ospreay or Seth Rollins? Probably Seth. Because he's got the curb stomp. And look at that! There's Heenan diving over the top rope. Yeah, if this match is on the short list of... Like, if you don't want to watch full episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event and just want to watch specific matches, this is one of the matches that's, like, must-see, I would say, from, like, Saturday Night's Main Event's history. It's like, you should definitely go out of your way to check this one out. Do you remember your first Saturday Night's Main Event? Not specifically. It would have been in 1990. If I did, it would have been one of the episodes in 1990. Real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. Oh, we're getting a Ted promo, guys.
$1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, your reaction to the Hulkster.
Well, that posing isn't quite the same without the belt now, is it?
Oh, Dick Line.
Politics, you pygmy. Sleazy politics.
Politics, you pygmy. That's great.
One thing I know for certain tonight, in the ring, Macho Man Randy Savage, in his corner, as always, the lovely Elizabeth. Now, earlier on, Ted DiBiase, you indicated that you would have something or somebody special, somebody who would be worth their weight in gold in your corner. What were you talking about?
Never mind about that, little man. I want to talk about Macho and the Macho Man. Let me tell you something, Randy Savage. You're looking at the man that has destroyed Hulkamania. All those little Hulksters out there, they have no faith in Hulk Hogan anymore. Champion.
Ouch.
Looking at the reason why. You think you're so macho because you got a beautiful woman in your corner? I'll tell you something, brother. There's nothing more macho than a man with money. Let's go, Virgil.
When does Sherry Martel come to manage Ted DiBiase? They got together at WrestleMania 7. It was specifically on that show. The $1 Million Man.
Well, maybe then you should be in the corner of Ted DiBiase. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. In the corner of the Macho Man will be the lovely Elizabeth to take you back to a moment to remember. The last main event. There. That is the crowning moment of glory.
Oh, they're replaying the main event where Savage and Liz had their moment in the ring. Which, goddamn, I mean, and those of you who were on the live stream WrestleMania weekend saw this. It's Savage looks like such a star here. It's ridiculous. How would you book a Sasha Banks Gail Kim feud? Sasha's the heel, Gail's the vet. Do it that way. She's a disrespectful little bitch disrespecting the vet. I would probably go that route with it. There's nothing more macho than a man with money. Yep.
You tried to buy Hulkamania, huh? And you came up bankrupt. Macho Man is here. But the check's gonna bounce, and I'm gonna bounce you all over the World Wrestling Federation. Yeah.
So we're getting a WrestleMania 4 main event preview here with this match. Although we didn't know we were getting one. Because we didn't know what the finals of the tournament was going to be. So looking lovely as always.
Get ready, yeah. Let's go cash in now, yeah.
Oh, here's Platinum Doll. His manager, the lovely Elizabeth, is the Macho Man. Heads for the ring.
Yeah, that nothing more macho than a man with money. Yeah. Yeah, that would make a great shirt. And like I said earlier, this is the first time we're seeing Ted on Saturday night's main event. A welcome addition if there ever was one. Yeah, apparently the plan was for Ted to win. That was the original plan. And Savage was supposed to win the IC title back from Honky Tonk. Honky nixed that and said, no, I'm not dropping the belt to him. And to placate Savage, they gave him the world title, and Ted just kind of... Yeah, and that's the story, supposedly. So because of Honky Tonk Man, Ted didn't get the belt. Supposedly. Oh, there's Andre. Who are wrestlers to say they aren't dropping belts, though? I don't know. Honky said in an interview, it's like, I don't mind dropping the belt. I don't want to drop it in front of a 33 million person audience. And I'm like, that would be the best time to drop the belt so people remember it. It's all Honky Tonk Man's fault. We got that cool ending at WrestleMania 4. Right, also true. We did get a great Mania ending out of it. Is that why Ted hates Honky Tonk? I don't know. Does Ted hate Honky Tonk? Oh, Savage just smacked Virgil. Oh. And here we go. I didn't know Ted hated Honky. I've never heard that. Oh, Ted smothering Savage over the top rope. When did the Virgil DiBiase split happen? Royal Rumble 91. And it was very well done, by the way. Great moment. Is Virgil meant to be a slave? He's meant to be a hired gun and a bodyguard. And if you want to draw that correlation to it, I won't stop you. All I'll say is that he was given the name Virgil as a rib on Dusty Rhodes. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Oh. Ted is beating the shit out of Savage. What do you think of wrestlers who carry on grudges after retirement? I mean, I can understand if there's bad feelings and it's like, if they really fucked you over, I can understand that to a point. But it's like after like 20, 30 years, it's like, guys, let it go. Like, seriously, like some of Brett's like problems and some of who else was I thinking of? Oh, Andre's right in front of Savage. He just shoved him. It's like, to me, it's like I couldn't imagine holding a grudge for that long over somebody that I worked with. And I've had coworkers I couldn't stand, but once I either they moved on or I moved on to something else, to me, that's the end of it. It's like, all right, I don't have to work with you anymore. We're fine. Elbow to the face. Cornette. Yeah, Cornette's another one. Reversal of the Irish Whip. Savage gets a foot in the face. Here we go. And boom, knee to the back. DiBiase goes flying out of the ring. Savage, double axe handle. Ted takes a great bump there. Oh, catches the foot. Clothesline. 1, 2, no. Drapes him over the top rope. Ted takes another great bump. Savage is on fire. Elbow to the face. Bell to bell, is this better or worse than their Mania 4 match? Well, ask me again when the match is over. Now that I'm watching it again.
It's amazing how much I know, isn't it? You got a point there, Jesse. Oh, look at this. The match turning around again. Now, when you notice that consultation with the Giant must have been so good, didn't it? I bet you even knew exactly what he told. No, I don't. No follow through. Ted DiBiase parting it on. That's what he gave him the time. Holding the horn here. Oh, that's the referee who's going to finish this game back there. Chop again by Ted DiBiase.
Chops.
Back in the Macho Man to the corner. DiBiase now.
DiBiase into the corner. Oh, Savage gets the feet up. Down he goes. Elbow drop. 1, 2, no. Body slam. Oh, Savage misses the knee drop. Russo and Cornette watching Lucha Underground together would be television gold. I agree. I would pay to watch that. Oh, couldn't get it. Ted goes flipping out of the ring. Ted's a bump machine. If it were up to you, when would you have put Savage in the Hall of Fame? Well, they started doing it again in 04, so I would have put him in around that time, 04, 05, 06, somewhere around there. Oh, here comes Andre. Oh, Virgil! The referee just kicked Virgil out. I'd rather watch Russo and Cornette watching Urban Wrestling Federation. What's Urban Wrestling Federation? Is that exactly what I think it is? Okay, Virgil just got sent to the back, but Andre's allowed to stay. Oh, double axe handle by DiBiase. Elbow drop by Ted. I wanted to see the commercials. Yeah, they should complete the experience and actually put the original commercials that aired with it. Did you see the Enzo Amore video and what did you think? I didn't see it. Is he a solid rapper? I just tweeted you an episode of Urban Wrestling Federation. I promise you'll never see anything else like it. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I look forward to watching it. Ted's got a sleeper hold on. Come on, Randy. Like DiBiase's going to say he pulled the hair, right? He's a heel. They lie. All right, Savage breaks a hold. Shoulder block. Drop down. Ducks the clothesline. And clothesline by Randy. Savage is back in it. Oh, yeah. Imagine Grand Theft Auto games with pro wrestling. That's Urban Wrestling Federation. I got to watch that shit. I have to watch that shit. Savage is back in control, but DiBiase gets a shot in. Side headlock. Push to the ropes. Ted bumps into the referee. Savage. I missed the slut chance towards Steph. I miss the Attitude Era. Double axe handle off the top to the outside of the ring. Oh, Andre grabs Savage. Headbutt. Oh! Into the ring post. Oh, Liz ran away. This is such a preview of WrestleMania 4. Like, Andre's beating the shit out of Randy. Was this after WrestleMania 3? Yeah, it was actually right before WrestleMania 4. The ref's up, but DiBiase's keeping him from seeing the massive beatdown that Andre's putting on him.
had nothing to do with Randy Savage's condition.
If you can honestly sit through one episode of Urban Wrestling Federation and actually understand who everyone is and what's going on, you deserve $1 billion. And Ted DiBiase wins by countout. Thanks to Andre. Oh, God. What did you think of Andre telling Vince he wanted to die? That's kind of sad. I mean, it's depressing. Oh, the fans are cheering. Here comes Hulk Hogan. The Mega Powers, baby. Yeah, they were going to Pearl Harbor him. That was a line that was used a lot back in the day. You don't hear that, you don't hear that too much these days.
I wouldn't say that. I bet she showed her face now because she saw Hogan out there. And she figures now it's safe. No way, Ventura. Elizabeth, it's unquestionable that Bray was put a manager in the whole wide world. Just like Randy Savage said earlier on.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is such a, this is a great lead into WrestleMania 4. And Hogan helps Savage to his feet. Isn't that sweet? Sweet. It brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? So, to answer the earlier question, is this better than the Savage DiBiase Mania 4 match? I think it's bell to bell. It's probably a better match from a technical standpoint, but the Mania 4 match has the better ending because Savage wins the title. So, half a dozen in one, 6 in the other. Great stuff. So we just had a really good opening match between, of all people, Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine. A wild match between Hogan and Harley Race. And a very good match between Randy Savage and Ted DiBiase. So this is a really, really good Saturday night's main event. And now we've got the Islanders versus the Killer Bees and Ken Patera versus the One-Man Gang. So we got 2 shit matches to close the show, but this might be the most front-loaded Saturday night's main event ever.
Bobby the Brain Heenan, I love your style. The headgear, the leash. What do you call this entire ensemble?
Bobby, this is my tribute to the Wild Kingdom.
I take it you're an animal lover, Bray.
An animal lover? Oh, I love animals. I love bulldogs. I love bees. So do Haku and Tama. They love all animals. Gentlemen,
Haku making bee noises. That's unexpected comedy.
they'll be dancing, Jesse. They'll be dancing real good. Because we're done with them. There's going to be nothing.
I like this episode, but I kind of like the episode where Jake face-planted Steamboat with the DDT a little bit more. That was also a great one. That one's high up there as well.
Great grooming tip for you, D&G. And back to you,
McMahon.
McMahon. Oh, my goodness. How that guy makes it in Hollywood, I'll never know. The Killer Bees and the Islanders. I'm already to lock up here in tag team action. And Bobby the Brain, he has one of the ridiculous-looking outfits he has on. Look at that. The bee mask. Bobby the Brain could be stunned here. As the Islanders and the Bees lock up. What a run to get back here, McMahon. Now, what did you say that I got to straighten out?
Well, you know what? Like Killer Bees versus the Islanders, I called it a shit match. It might not be that bad of a match. I don't really remember it, but...
I thought you were supposed to be an athlete also. I guess I was mistaken. Killer Bees. Oh, here we go. We just cut right off. Jumping Jim Montel in there with Tama, Slam, and Jumping Jim Montel dropping it in. Covering a quick cover right away to time match. He was all he can get. Why are you such a journalist? You have such insight, Jesse. What kind of a tag team match is here? What are we lucky to see here? You're going to see a classic tag team match. You're going to see the Killer Bees. A second. Stop interrupting me. Ask me a question, let me interrupt you. You're going to see the Bees relying on speed. You're going to see the Islanders with speed, and I have to admit more strength. Plus, Bobby Heyman. You think Bobby Heyman will be a deciding factor in the matchup? Well, you can see he was prepared for Bees. You see that neck he had over his face? He looked ridiculous. Did he look ridiculous? No more ridiculous than Brunzell's tights.
Yeah, every time I see the Killer Bees, I can't help but think of like the old school, like throwback Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys, the Bumblebee uniforms. Every time they bring those back, I just go, guys, why are you wearing those? They look terrible.
Yes, but the sight of you in high heels is something to behold. And look at this right now. Brunzell on the canvas after the suplex from Thomas. I just can't believe they made it. Me? And you, the man who called the let's get back to wrestling, man. We got the power man stepping in now.
All right, here's Haku. Drop kick. How about them Capitals? Indeed, yeah, the DC curse is broken. I might be going to the celebration parade on Tuesday. Oh, reverse atomic drop. Yeah, the spine area. You mean the fucking ball sack area. Drops the clothesline. Double clothesline. All right. Gets the hot tag and boom. Whoop. Atomic drop. That's 4. I should turn that into a drinking game. How many atomic drops do you see on one episode of Saturday Night's Main Event? I might do that. I'll do it next week and then watch, though. I won't see any. Roll up. 1, 2, 3. The Bees got it. No, he didn't. No, the ref didn't finish the count. That is the worst referee ever. He straight up did not finish the count. Take a shot every time there's a chop in a Ric Flair match. I will be dead before the match is over.
I'm going to ask him about that right now. Slickster, everybody is upset about the comments you made about the United States Olympic team. I hope you can explain yourself.
What? They suck. What's to explain?
Nothing but a bunch of losers, baby. That's right, capital letters, LOSERS, USA. And you ought to know about that. Wasn't that loser son of yours?
I can't believe like Ken Patera was still there in '88. That's crazy. What did you think of Superman Returns? It happened. I mean, it happened. It was a movie that was there. I like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. That's about the extent of it. Do they play Slick's theme? That's the question.
Forget about Ken Patera and forget about the U.S. Olympic team. Who needs a team anyway when you've got a game? The one-man game.
Slick is awesome. I love Slick. Slick is so great. No Slick music. None. Yeah, because the One Man Gang was one of those guys that didn't have theme music.
George Steiner is a good friend of mine. I call him Daddy Big Bucks. Because he's sliding me some big bucks. He's what? Oh, yeah. Wait to find out. I don't believe that for a minute. You're going to see the body in pinstripes. Sure, Jess. The One Man Gang, along with the Slickster, as they prepare for the matchup with former Olympian Ken Patera. Moving right back as we continue with more of Saturday.
No JYD music, no Slick music. This sucks.
The bell is ringing. It's time for the Slickster to get out of the ring. And leave it.
But it's okay. We're gonna have Demolition's music. Hopeful. I sincerely hope to God. God, Patera looks old. Patera looks old. Gang's just beating the shit out of him. Boom! Ken Patera fighting back. Patera with a bear hug. That's amazing. He can get his hands around the One Man Gang. Oh, goes to the eyes. Gang breaks the bear hug. God, Patera looks like Richard Simmons. Like a bulkier Richard Simmons. Full Nelson by Patera. He doesn't have that locked on. I agree. Demolition has the best theme song in the history of the WWE. I agree. Yeah, he didn't have that Full Nelson fully applied.
He's matching up strength with the gang, but in my opinion, he should try to get the gang off his feet. Get him down on the back and use the strength down there, not throw this guy on his feet. Patera now spreading things around in his favor. Series of shoulder blocks and the part of the former Olympian. Move with the right hand. Patera now trying to get the One Man Gang out.
Irish whip. Into the corner. Ken Patera's gotten way more offense than I would have ever expected. Fans are way more into this match than I would have ever thought, too. Oh! 1, 2. Well, that was the weirdest finish I think I've ever seen. Like, it was like the gang like clotheslined him and then tripped and fell on top of him and got the pin. That was mercifully short. That was mercifully short. Brother Love's theme is pretty cool too, yeah. Patera just knocked down the One Man Gang. He was going to body slam the gang, but Slick went in there with the cane. Oh, that match happened.
Whoever said that Hulkamania was dead certainly learned a lesson tonight, didn't they, Jesse? Yeah, they may have learned the lesson, but what I like the best is he ain't the champ, so the Hulkamaniacs don't have a champion. Oh, no? He indeed is a champion, no question of that. As a matter of fact, he's standing by right now with me and Gene Oakland. Let's take you to the interview and listen to the Hulkster.
All right, Hulk Hogan, you said before your match Only one man stood in your path of regaining the World Wrestling Federation's heavyweight crown in WrestleMania. One down, one to go. But Hulk, I must confess, I have never seen such maniacal behavior.
Such maniacal behavior.
That's behavior of a Hulkamaniac, a star-created maniac, man. As far as I'm concerned, the Weasel, the multi-million-dollar man.
Why does he keep calling him the multi-million-dollar man?
You also threw the rule book out. That's why the king, Harley Race, is laying flat on his back, Jack. And V5 you big nasty giant. Here I come.
Jesus Christ. That's great. That's great.
All right, Jessica Girl, your thoughts on the Hulk Hogan Harley Race matchup?
Well, let me just say this. I think Hogan's a maniac.
Isn't multi-million-dollar man a compliment? Yeah, I would think so.
Maybe, but I doubt it. If you snap like Hogan has, I think it will work against you. I think the cool and the calm of Andre will prevail in Mania.
Moving right back as we continue with more of Saturday Night's main event. As the countdown for WrestleMania continues, we'll say so long from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, and that concludes, and they're playing Real American again over the end credits. That's cool. Okay, that concludes Saturday Night's Main Event 15. One of my favorite episodes. Might be my #1 favorite episode. We'll see when we get through all 36. But yeah, those first 3 matches are so good and just make such an action-packed and crazy episode. And you get that awesome moment that builds to WrestleMania 4. I think it's a stellar episode and definitely one that's worth watching. So that was fun. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, you should play Real American on the 4th of July when the fireworks are launching. Yeah. Cocaine, or in this case, Hulkamania, is a hell of a drug. Yes, it is. All right, so that concludes the stream. Thank you all for staying up late with me. It is now past, it is 1:15 midnight. Damn, I need to go to sleep. So that is all I have for you tonight. Once again, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for staying up with me while I watch Saturday Night's Main Event Clash of Champions. But we're all done here. I'll have more videos lined up for you next week. So until next time, you all have a good one.